All right, cool. Think we're working. Waiting for maybe one or two dudes come in. Sorry about the lighting there. There we go. And I'm sweating like a pig. I got the wrong glasses. Man. All right. So one thing is I can't see the chat, so I'm gonna have to get this streaming on my phone too, which is weird to do, but that way I can see the chat. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. We'll just get the little title page as we wait for the other guys ready to come in. Hope they do. Let's see how that works. All right. All right, let me know in your chat if you're in there. It's kind of an interesting way to do it, but this is I haven't mastered using my main editing software to use Zoom live. I like doing the live stuff, as you guys know. Yeah, we're going to talk about the 2023 Dodgers and NLDS, and we're going to preview it. And if you look at the graphic, we've got, got the basically all the rookies that should be on the roster or might be. I'm going to do a quick share of this. Let's see here, just so it's out there. Sorry about that. Just getting this thing going. Let's see, share. Let's see, Twitter. That one, and then the other account. They have a couple Twitter accounts that I post to real quick. So, let me know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on who should make it? So we've got up here on the graphic, we got Michael Grove, Brian Pepio, Bobby Miller, Emmett Sheehan, and James Outman. Outman and Miller obviously are shoo-ins. And really the question for Grove and Pepio and Sheehan is, how many pitchers do they want to go with that are, length guys? Personally, I'm going with a lot of length guys. I think they're going to need that. I think any pitcher always, there's no guarantees in this. So if the Dodgers are thinking, oh, we're going to definitely get 5 from Kershaw or 6 or 5 or 4, it's not going to, you don't know if it's going to happen. So I would go, my roster might have all these guys, with Grove kind of maybe working more as a reliever. I really like him there. Let's see. So where's the chat? There's the chat. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks for the photo. I use something called Canva. I pay a little bit for it, but it's kind of cool because I can take a picture and I can drag it onto the background, and then you can just get rid of the background of the picture. So Miller, that was in a game in spring training a couple years ago, and then you hit the edit and it kind of goes, it all fades away, so you can do the transparent type thing. I think it's really exciting that there are 5 guys that are possibilities of being on this team. My guys show up. Not yet. Yeah, we're definitely expecting Alex Maleret, and then maybe Trinidad Loaiza much later. But we're see what we got. I'm going to keep the participants out here so I can see them. Yeah, Alex had some work to do tonight, so he's grinding away. Trinidad's at work. Tell you the one thing about the 2080 team, we go hard. Whether it's with this stuff or with our regular work. Steve Douglas just as a grinder. Gail's all over the place. She's going to Arizona, and at the same time, like doing work from her hotel, and Ryan's works for a living, goes to a lot of Quakes games, and then plays in a band, or multiple bands actually. So yes, so with Cartaya, they're all the 40-man guys are no longer in the minors for the moment. That's the way the end of the season, everything kind of reverts back. So the only roster that matters is going to be the 26 man that's going to happen. Well, it'll be announced maybe tomorrow. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like Saturday a.m. But let's see. Yeah, by the way, regretfully, I did not get a press pass for NLDS. Kind of a bummer. I'm going to be smart about my energy levels. Just to be honest, when at my age, and I wear out a lot quicker than I used to. So I'll be careful about those. But if there's a chance to watch a clinch, I might go. If it's the World Series, that's a different story. If the Dodgers get to have a chance to clinch, I will be following them until they clinch the World Series. I've got to be there. I wanted to be there in 2020, but it was more important to be, and I think y'all would agree, it's more important I'd be there with my family. Just enjoy that together as a family. So yeah, all these roster changes are out there that are going, they're just getting everyone off DLs. By the end of the year, they're going to have to activate everyone once off the 60-man or the 60-day DL, which will cause a huge issue. And then also that's the same time guys are free agents. But that's I think it's 3 to 5 days or something like that after the season ends for the team. So hopefully it's not for a while. Yeah, and I attended all 4 games at Dodger Stadium in 2017. And then I attended the 18-inning game in 2018. It is awesome. It just, even though obviously the outcome was terrible, it was still a wonderful experience, and very blessed to have been to go there. It would have been great to see them in 2020. That's what we need. We need 2023. As we all talk about, we already know that it could be Kersh's last season. His shoulder seems to be just on the on the bleeding edge of death. He's actually, even though he's had all these little injuries that come up and put him on the IL for a month or 2 months, there still has been nothing really, really major that says, oh, he has to have X surgery or Y surgery on this part of the body. He's been able to manage it through exercise, work, all those types of things. So let's see. Just got a notification that my Amazon order is on the way. Yesterday would have been a great day. I could have gone to the workout, but went with my wife to see Pat Benatar. She's 70, and she was great. It was better than we thought it would be, and it's cool because my wife was listening to Benatar all day. That was all good. It's all cool. So did a little overeating. Boy, they had some actually good stuff. It's called the Rady Shell, RADY Shell, in San Diego. Just look it up. It's kind of cool. It's a really neat venue to watch a concert. So we'll definitely be back. Okay, dang it, I lost my chat. Let's see who else. I'm also watching my text here. Let's see. Can't spell. So Alex just texted. He's just running late. That's okay. But what's important is we keep talking about the Dodgers. So Kershaw, Miller, and then Lance Lynn's lined up for game 4. Sheehan through today. They're all lined up. All these other pitchers are lined up for the game 3, not game 4. So they'll be set up for game 4, and then game 3. Gosh darn it. So Kersh, Miller, game 3 could be, I think, is Kersh coming back. That's my opinion. And then Miller. I would have done it backwards. I would have started Miller, then went Kersh in the game 3, then Miller, then Kersh again. That's just the way I would have done it. But guess what? I am not in charge. Still, can you believe that? Let's see. So there was a note that Doc had considered going with only 12 pitchers and 14 position players. which would have put Connor Wong on the roster, which would have been cool. But you can't run out of pitching, man. You run out of pitching in these playoffs, and you blow a game because you wanted to have, something going on, trying to do something. You just can't do that. No way. So I'm glad. I mean, so I'm getting, well, we talked about the other day, it's either between Rosario and Wong. So, one of those guys is going to be on the team. I'm going to guess could be Wong because of all the righties that Arizona has. Their starters are all righties. They do have a couple tough lefties in the bullpen. But so don't be surprised if Rosario sits a series out, which would just breaks my heart to think about, any player sitting it out. At least Wong's actually been in a World Series and been all through. Rosario's only been through the beginning of the playoffs pretty much with Cleveland. And some notes today. Billy Epler, the Mets GM, resigned, and he's under suspicion for what's it called? The Phantom DL or IL. Shoot, man, that means all 30 GMs need to probably step down. That's used all the time. But the standard must be really low for that. But yeah, that's kind of whack. So watch out, Farhan and the rest. Yeah, I think Kershaw is pitching twice. Well, the way he won't get this thing done in 3. Get it done in 3. Let them go do their shots because they do that after they win every series. I wonder if they provide. Man, if I was there, give me my Dr. Pepper Zero, some shots of that. But they do shots of tequila after each series win. So 3 more shots, right? That's the goal. Yeah, but you just can't leave. You can't go with just 12 pitchers. You've got to go with 13. So yeah, Rosario or Wong is left off. I'm gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if I kept Rosario, but Wong is a really good infielder or a really good second baseman. He's not as versatile as Rosario. Rosario is super fast, but Wong is a lefty. So we'll see. This is actually a good problem. Last year, it's like, well, which crappy player that's either crappy or injured are we going to put on the roster? And so they were trying to, or not ready. Really, what they should have done was just said, hey, we're playing Outman, we're playing Vargas, just last year, and just done it. Speaking of Vargas, so Miguel is there. He was working out with the team, I guess. And I'm went through all 4 rosters of the non-Arizona Dominican teams to go and say, hey, which position has guys played? So I wrote down all the numbers of positions. I will be including Miguel Vargas when I do the second baseman, because even though he will not be a rookie next year, he's still such a prospect, and he's a factor in there. And he's younger. You're going to be younger than a lot of the guys that we talk about. So I'm going to be including him in when I do second baseman. So we'll be ready for third baseman. I'm hoping to. Well, I'll be. I think I'm going to do that one live. I think it's important. I think it just makes it better. Let's see. Yeah. And going through Zoom is just kind of weird. I'm Zoom because of waiting for my compadres. See any more chats? There we go. No, game 3 isn't gonna. No, Kirsch not game 3, Sal. No. It'll go Kirsch in 1, 2 Miller, 3. It's gonna be Lynn and the rookies, or the rookies and Lynn, and then Kirsch would be in game 4, and then there's enough rest in there, so it's a two-edged sword. So the Diamondbacks get to pitch their top 2 guys against us if it goes 5, they get to pitch them in 4. Now our top 2 guys are good, but their top 2 guys are Merrill Kelly, who will go game 1, and then Zach Gallen game 2. Zach he put in over 200 innings this year, and he got lit up in the first inning yesterday, but he calmed down, got it done for the D-bags. So they're gonna have their best pitching ready to go. Dodgers got to punch them in the mouth, though. They cannot sit there. And that was that was I was talking about last year for Vargas, not this year. Last year he only had like 40 at bats, so and he would have replaced someone like Joey Gallo or someone. He at least was a live person that could hit, or at least get a bat on the ball and be alive and not injured. But Vargas this year, he's not going to be on the playoff roster. That would take a lot of injuries. But again, it's a real good problem that they have, that they're overloaded in both pitching and on position players. I think that's great. So, Vargas, like I said, I'm working on him I'll be working him into the second baseman for the, what's it called? The prospect, I call it the 2023 review, 24 preview. And so specifically focusing on 24 for Vargas. A lot of guys. The thing is, I'll pop up the matrix sometime. See if I could pull that up, just so you could see it. Of the versatility of these dudes. I mean, my goodness. I might have done something stupid, but no, because I'm fighting for disk space on my system, so I keep having to detach my cloud stuff, because the way the cloud stuff on Macs work, it just like takes everything. It just starts going, oh, there's free space. Okay, I'm gonna start using it. And then I'm streaming or trying to make a video. So I'm going to pull this over and I'm going to switch the share. Oh, Alex coming in. Very good. And I'm going to reshare here. Alex, come on in. Let's see. There it is. So here's my matrix. You can see it of all the position players that I went through, and you can just see the versatility that's out there. Alex, what's up? Oh, look at this guy. Sharp dress, man. We are live.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Yeah,
hey, Dodgers. Hey, Dodgers 2080.
Looking Nation. Good, man.
I just literally just got walked through the door, so.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, now Alex is stepping it up, man. Now I got my old Kyrie Duke shirt that's,
It's still good. It's still good.
It's my protest shirt, man.
There you go.
Yeah. So I don't know if you could see this, but I was just mixing up, going through each player and going, how many games did they play at each position?
Yeah.
And Bush, 27 at second, 74 at first, which is really good. If you go down to like Austin. This Austin Gauthier, 28 at second, 30 at short, 32.
Everything but catcher and center field. Looks like.
Yeah. And no, that's just I didn't include catchers. I already did catchers.
Oh, gotcha.
And then let's see. There's like Wilman Diaz came up mid-year and played all over the place. Donkey,
right.
Doncone. So Izara, man, got all over the place. Jose Izara is he's probably the best fielding shortstop in the organization right now.
Yeah.
But if you look at where is he? Alex Freeland, though, played 100. He played by far the most games at shortstop of anyone.
Or it looks like they want him to stay there. So maybe that's why they just want him more comfortable. Or
he is he just by looks, he might, except with less grease, he looks like the new Brandon Crawford.
So, less grease, yeah. Well, I mean, I think he's our next, maybe best shortstop prospect in Dodgers minors. I know we have a couple high-end prospect,
I haven't
like Diaz and Doncone. Actually, didn't Doncone get traded, or who was the shortstop that got traded?
We still got Donkey.
We just traded somebody, I think, too. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Let me see. What trades did we make? The Kike trade, no. The Joe Kelly trade, no. Rosario, no. Who am I missing? I can't remember. It'll probably pop up in our head later. But yeah, so let's go back to the preview. I'm going to go and turn off the sharing the screen. Stop sharing, please. How do you do that? Maybe just by killing the screen.
It should be at the bottom with the green button.
Oh, okay. Are we back or what? There we are.
There we are.
All right, cool.
Perfect.
Ooh. Yeah, oh man, it's I was telling the crowd it's rougher to do this when to try, because with doing it live with Zoom and all that stuff, but got it working, man. That's what matters. All right, let's talk about, so I did talk a bit about pitching. So it does look like they said Kirsch 1, Miller 2. Right. Lynn is lined up for 3, but it doesn't mean it's gonna be him. And then they have room to go with enough space, with enough rest. Kirsch 4, and then Miller 5, and then all the young guns are available.
Right, right.
And but we've talked about it before, but do you bring both Ferguson and Vesia, or do you go, no, I want Sheehan or Grove? I don't know.
Are you talking about the roster, or are you talking about per game?
For the roster, because
have they finalized the roster yet or not?
No.
Okay.
So
I think they gotta have one left. I mean, just cause I think they bring a lefty.
Yeah. I mean, they have so the D-bags have Corbin Carroll. He's a lefty.
Right.
Is that Alec Thomas a lefty? I think he is. I don't know, man. I don't know, chat. What do you guys think about, Ferguson? I think we talked about it on Tuesday, but he just comes in and not throwing enough strikes, it seems like. I don't know.
I would say it's probably not very dependable. He's either maybe lockdown or he's just knocked out. Look, his last I think his last 10 appearances were pretty. He had that 2-game stretch where with three outs and he gave up 8 runs. Because he was at 3, I think 2.4, and after those 2 games he's at 3.6, which is he's kind of reversing to like Vesia, where Vesia, I mean, was pretty brutal in the first half, and Ferguson was locked down, and then they just flipped. Where Vesia, I would say Vesia is probably the more dependable lefty, out of him and Ferguson, and then I mean there's Victor Gonzalez, but I don't think they haven't seemed like it just doesn't make sense they would use him in the postseason when they really haven't used him during the season. Yeah,
they didn't seem to favor him at all. It seems like
he like the last 3 weeks he had like 1 appearance because he was in the minors the whole time.
Yeah, but even when he was up, I mean, he's been up. He didn't get that many appearances even when he was up. It was kind of rough, So
I think Vesia is that guy. But what I was hearing is a lot of the Dodgers, the bullpen has their splits against left-hand pitching, even if it's a righty throwing, are pretty good. So we do have. I think our bullpen has since June something with first in the majors. Yeah.
Ever since Brazier came.
Oh, he's been a lot. I mean, that goes down like with one of the that's like a Phillips. I mean, he's been amazing.
Freaking game saver, huh?
Just amazing. Him, Miller.
Yeah, Shelby.
Gratterall, Phillips, and what's it called? The 101 mile per hour. What's his name? Joe Kelly.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel good. That's one of the better like high end corps or leaving corps. I think Dodgers have gone into the postseason. To be honest.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
and I think the lefties, the numbers, the splits with versus left hand pitch or left hand batting are still very favorable. Where maybe they don't use a lefty per se with a traditional sense. I don't know.
Yeah. The oh shit, fudge. I was thinking last year, right? So last year they went into the playoffs, with Taylor and Turner hurt. And then in the staff, if you remember, Canely was just coming back. And then Almonte was just coming back. And they were kind of forced in. And then at the same time, Canely in that game 4, the guy had come back and he'd been strong, but then because Gonsolin the day before had only went like 1 2/3, and Canley had pitched in that game. So that was like his first back-to-back game. He hadn't even pitched a back-to-back game, and all of a sudden they put him in for game.
Yeah, I think he had like five games before the postseason started.
Yeah.
And I mean, he looked good
but
that
none
one,
of them, none of them back-to-back. I don't think.
Right. I mean, he looked amazing that first the first night. I think game 2, or was it game 3?
It was game
his
3,
first appearance in the post.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, like you mentioned, I mean, they just went. I mean,
so at least I feel everyone's healthier. Miller looks healthy.
Yeah.
I do worry a little bit about Joe Kelly.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he can go back to back, but then again, game 1 is on Saturday.
Yeah.
Day off on Sunday.
Right.
Game 2 on Monday, so there's another day off. Then they fly to Milwaukee for game 3.
Yeah.
And if they have to play 2 and come back, then there's another day off. So with that, it probably works out for Joe Kelly.
Well, even Joe Kelly, I think he's our 5th option as a right-hand pitcher. And even then, you got to consider that Sheehan and what's it called? Grove, they're basically 2-3 inning relievers as well. I mean, I think Grove's better. Yeah. I've always thought that Grove, he's better one time through the lineup. Just let it fly, and just, you know, because his strikeout numbers are up. You know, he literally overmatches. His stuff is high end.
Yeah, but it's high end, like you said, real in the short
first
spurts.
Time through. Yeah, I
mean,
but that's fine if we can get Michael Grove as a 2-inning pitcher.
Yep.
I mean, his stuff is he has closer stuff. It's not like it's a downgrade.
Sal caught me, man. He says Milwaukee. They're playing Arizona. I was hoping on Milwaukee, especially since what's his name, Brandon Woodruff went down.
But I think the Diamondbacks are probably the best situation for us. Milwaukee always plays us tough, and they do have postseason experience.
Yeah.
Where I think that, you know, Arizona, they're basically rookies like our pitching staff. I mean, they haven't been to the postseason in how long? All the players there are pretty new to the postseason, I would say. So
yeah, my just to be honest, it's just last year. You know, the Padres with the Dodgers beat the snot out of them all year. What was it? 17-5, and then we lose 3. Did they lose 3 out of 4?
Yeah, even the last stretch was like we're just, you know, it was like 15 out of, or it was a very like it was one-sided, definitely.
Yeah. So you can't have that. That's the fear.
Yeah, but you know what it was? It was our offense was just, there was none last year for postseason.
Exactly. Yeah.
The pitching was good enough to get us through, but you know, if you give up a run or 2, that's it. Like, we can't come back. You know, that's pretty. I mean, we can't. Any team we played, we didn't really deserve to go past the first round, to be honest.
Yeah, it was to paraphrase Doug McCain. If you want the dub, you have to slug. And this team is built to slug. I mean, there's not a weak spot in the lineup right now, even Miggy.
Right.
So Sal brings up some, and he says pitching Kershaw twice in the series scares me. And I actually agree with that. I'm afraid that Doc is falling in love with a narrative. Kershaw has to go out.
Which he has before.
Cost him in 2019. Yep, cost him in 2019. You know, and I'm worried about that he's going to go, well, we got to make sure Kersh goes out, you know, with the chance of glory. You know what Kersh wants? Right. He wants to win. And you know what? Kersh doesn't want to win at his expense. Kersh knows what he is. He's a 90-mile-an-hour tops right now pitcher that's getting him out with precision, guile, veteran presence,
experience.
And I'm saying presence with that ends with the NTS.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just he obviously knows how to pitch, and that's getting him through. But yes, throwing him twice, especially because game 4, it would be in Arizona. He's not been the best in Arizona. I don't like that at all. So hopefully
he still has a propensity for the home run ball. But I think Kershaw at this point in the postseason has to be a 3 to 4 inning pitcher. Tops.
I agree.
He has to, but that's fine if you get, you know, 90-mile-per-hour Kershaw and back him up with, you know, 97-mile-per-hour Sheehan. That's good. That's not bad. You know, if they can get 3 from Kersh, 3 from Sheehan. That's not bad. That's you don't get it all from one pitcher, but 6 innings from your starting pitching core. I mean,
I would take
then
it.
leave it up to the bill. Yeah, and then leave it up to the bullpen.
And
Hopefully they give up 2 runs. That's I
exactly
think that's
what
how
I
it's going to
do.
be moving forward.
I would do that with Kirsch, and I would do that with whoever starts in game 3.
I think I'm going to do a Pepio and Yarbrough. Same thing.
Yarbrough will be there.
Completely different looks.
Exactly.
And that was kind of the issue, I think, in 2020 or 19. Just they had a lot of pitchers that kind of just did the same thing. You had was it Gratterall, you had Trinan, and then you had Flores.
No, that was 2019. We didn't have any of those guys.
Oh, was it
we had Kenley, we had mediocre Joe Kelly.
Oh, you're right. Actually, it was
we had
mediocre.
We had Julio. We had Kenta. We had remember we had Kolarek, who should have pitched against.
But there was a narrative, right?
There was a narrative. Yeah, I got it.
That was a narrative. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I remember that because I was pissed.
I mean, and I've brought this up before, that really the narrative is you win the World Series. I think it ensures that Andrew Friedman and Dave Roberts are Hall of Famers. Two championships. I mean, Bobby Cox got in with 1 because they had that big long stretch, right?
We're still doing currently, to be honest.
But... Yeah. I would have never put Cox in myself. I think
and then plus I think if the Dodgers win the World Series, I think also it guarantees Kershaw probably retires on top.
And that's cool. I do want him to get 3,000, but that's selfish of me. But
he's probably first unanimous ballot. I mean, unless there's those people that just refuse to do. But he has to get. He's up there. He has to be up there with Mariano. And I'm sorry, he's just up there.
Better than Mariano.
Like he's what 75%, and he ended the season like 2.4 or whatever. He's still a side. It's just ridiculous.
It's insane. It is insane. So, question is: Bobby Ice assumed to be starter in game 2? Yeah, I think.
He deserves it.
Has to be. I mean, I would have.
There's no one else too, but
I would have went him game 1. That's my game 1. Is Bobby Miller? I think. But maybe they're just afraid of something. I don't know.
Maybe the first round, you don't want to give that pressure to Bobby. But I think it's gonna be the same thing if they get to the second round as well. It's gonna be Kershaw number 1, maybe just to kind of deflect some of that pressure. But I'm telling you, Miller, high end everything, and it plays up in the postseason. Like people just for whatever obviously 102 is 102, but it just plays up. Just like wipe out stuff.
Yeah, and the picture I was sharing earlier, I'm gonna throw it back up. Come on.
And that's like all our starting pitchers at this point.
Well,
Pepio's looking very, very good.
Yeah, going around the horn here. Outman, obviously, he has a good arm, but he's not pitching.
Right.
But Grove, when he's throwing 1 or 2 innings, it's 98.
98 wipeout slider, wipeout curve. Wipeout like
Pepio's 94, 96 strong. He's going to give you,
and that plays up because of the changeup.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Miller's throwing 100, and then Sheehan's right up there to
97, 98.
Yeah.
For three innings, I'm assuming it's going to be 97, 98.
Exactly.
You can let it fly a little.
If you follow that plan and you go, hey, we got 5 games, right? 5 games. If hopefully less, but if you go, okay, Grove, let's say he throws in 3 games, totals 5 innings. That's 5. Pepio throws in 2 innings, throws 6. 5 is it's 11 innings covered already. Miller's going to go.
That's what they do. They're going to cover innings.
Yeah, Miller's the number. Miller gets 9 to 10 innings. Sheehan gets another 5 or 6. All of a sudden, you've covered a ton of innings with some power arms. That's not including Gratterall. Well, Stone's probably not coming. There's no room for him, but you never know. But I don't think he makes it. But Gratterall's coming in, throwing the gas. Joe Kelly's throwing gas.
Gas.
Yeah.
Phillips is throwing nasty.
Yeah.
Miller's his splitter is he's mid 90s. He's probably the least velocity, but still mid 90s with a little dip.
Yeah.
In his splitter, and
it's a good mix.
And then what's Brazier? Is it Brazier?
He brings it up to 97.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He just gets out. He doesn't.
I know, but it's just a good. It's a good mix. Yeah,
it's sneaky high end.
It is. And so all of a sudden you got those power arms that really they weren't there last year.
Right. We didn't have
that
the
was-
depth as well.
Yeah, that team, even though it won 111 games, it was, they're playing the West, and they were, they had the Division 1 in June. They did.
Yeah, it was over. I mean, like
yeah.
it was just how many wins can they accumulate at that point?
And if you look, so starting like September 15th of last year, they stopped hitting. They just stopped in general.
Yeah.
So this year, I don't know, I was listening to
well, also there was injuries, and it was one got injured in August.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, Lux got injured, Taylor got injured,
Lux, yeah.
Bellinger never got it going.
Nope.
Yeah, it was just people, and then we didn't have the depth, or we didn't have like those plug-in. At least something happens, Bush. I mean, that's not a bad like depth piece. Or it just seems like the bench is the bench is stronger.
Yeah,
I think the depth is we have more depth. We don't still have those the starting pitcher is just not as established as it was last year, but
yeah, and that is the difference. But last year, what did it get us? Julio went 5, Kirsch went 5, Gonsolin went less than 2, and then the one game where a guy was rolling, Doc pulls him out at 5 innings with 80 pitches to go against the bottom of the order. Doc lengthened that game for the bullpen by a whole inning when Tyler Anderson was rolling, and he still hadn't faced the bottom of the order. I mean, that's who was up.
And Tyler Anderson he did it the whole year. It wasn't just
he was dealing.
Yeah, he would go deep in the game. He goes 7 innings, the 8th inning. It didn't seem like but that's again.
It wasn't one of Doc's guys. I think Doc has his guys, and it's the guys that have been around. That he goes. It was Kenley, obviously, just even going to him when he was terrible. And then JT last year. JT last year had no business being in the lineup because he was just hurt. Same with CT3. Both guys were hurt. This year, we got JD Martinez on fire. Remember, he was player of the week last week.
We have a DH, an actual like a real legit DH. Yeah.
Real Taylor's been good. Mookie's been a little slumpy. I was kind of bummed he didn't get to 40. I mean, geez.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't. He had 4 games in Colorado and 3 in you would think he didn't pop one, but
yeah. Freddie's been
going into the postseason.
Yeah, Freddie's been strong.
Yeah.
I think the lineup is
I think with Freddie and JD, there's 2 just consistent hitters where we don't have that hot or cold streak. Muncie's kind of like he's the same. He catch fire, he can be cold. Mookie kind of he's scorching hot, or then sometimes he's just human,
I'm making it.
And then Will Smith.
He's been struggling a little bit. He's playing with a broken rib.
Was that why?
Yeah, he got that in like late April. He was playing with a cracked rib.
That's a gamer.
Stud, man.
Seriously.
But even Austin Barnes has been better. This team, there's not a weak spot on that.
Hayward, Outman.
Yep.
Peralta. Peralta, I mean, he'll give you a professional bat at the worst. Kike, right? He can pop one out.
I'm gonna make. They don't give an NLDS MVP, but it's going to be. You said it, Max Muncy. He's gonna carry. He's gonna hit those righties. I'm calling it now. 3 home runs for Max Muncy in this series.
I'm gonna have to go Miller. I think he's gonna blow everyone away. Just because we have to. He needs to. Because if he doesn't, we're not.
Chat, lay down who your MVP is gonna be for the NLDS. Lay it down. Let's see it. So I'm gonna actually write mine in the chat.
Keep you accountable.
Yep. Even though there is no real NLDS MVP. Let's just say it. Let's put it. I'm on record. I'm on record. So yeah, I mean, the thing is Muncy can carry a team.
Oh yeah. And it's not even just even if he doesn't hit, he walks. And that in the postseason, getting on base is huge.
Sal's got Freeman. That is strong. That is
I was gonna as a hitter, I'd say Freeman. Freeman's, I mean, he's probably gonna be 300, 2
How
home
many?
runs, 2
I think.
doubles,
I
like
think.
3
Yeah.
walks.
The only question is how many doubles in the NLDS for Freddie? Is it
Yeah, there's
2 or
really no
3?
slump for him, really.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And in
It's
worst case, he's gonna
beautiful.
put the ball on. He's gonna put the bat on the ball.
Yeah. Yep. And
It's
I
not gonna
think.
be, yeah.
Yeah. And so, well, given the way that they're lined up, Mookie's playing second because they're all righties. They're starting, so it'll be Jay Hay in right, Outman in center, Peralta in left. Even though they could throw in a Kike or Taylor in there, and it wouldn't kill me. And then Max at third. That's I am nervous about them bunting on Muncie and them just going crazy on the bases. And then we got Miggy Rojas
His
short.
defense is. I'm so happy he's
Oh
at
gosh,
shortstop.
it's such a difference maker. Then we got Dookie Butts
Yeah.
at second, Freddie Freeman at first, Will Smith as is the catcher, and we have the great JD Martinez. And by the way, people, go check out Mookie's Bleacher Report thing. He interviewed.
His podcast. I think it's
Yeah.
Freeman, right?
Well, no, I haven't watched that one yet, but I did see the JD one. JD one was good. The best one is still the Kike one because Kike talking about crap in his pants during the 2020
Kike just good TV.
Kike is going to be a star, man. He's going to be a star announcer someday. He's on MLB Network or something like that. I'm so glad he's back. I like Kike.
Yeah, he brings he's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Was it Cayaspo last year? Who was it?
No. What was that? Hanser. Alberto.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah. He's actually producing. That's a difference.
The thing is, Hanser was he didn't even make the playoff roster, if you recall.
Right.
And then, but this year,
unfortunately,
though, you go, last year the bench was dead. Remember, they had a dead bench while getting beat in an elimination game. They had a dead bench. We have Miggy Rowe.
Yeah.
David Peralta. Jason Hayward, famous for his big speech in 2016 for the Cubs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they've got Kike, right? Rosario is a top of the step guy.
Yeah, you're right.
Connor Wong, or not Connor, Colton Wong. So either Wong or Rosario. One of those guys has to sit. They won't have room for both. But the thing is, it's a good problem to have.
Right.
They don't have room for one of those guys.
We didn't have anyone to fill in. Now we have too many.
Yeah, they put Gallo on.
I think Colton Wong does something this postseason that he seems like he's in the big pressure. I think he's going to come through with something.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's one of the better low key.
If he makes a roster, though, that's the thing. Now we were talking earlier before you got on, about Wong versus Rosario for that last spot, and with Arizona having basically only 2 lefties on their staff, I mean, maybe they just go with Wong over Rosario with the roster. Kind of makes sense.
I think they like Rosario because of his versatility. I think he can play every infield position. Yeah. Second base and shortstop. I'm sure if whatever case he can slide over to third base. I don't think it's going to be too much to ask of, but that's the only thing with Wong is I think you get second base and maybe the outfield. I don't know. Yeah. But you're pretty limited in that sense.
Right. Yeah. Well, they do have
that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Well, one of the best things. So let's talk. Let's go before 2 weeks before the trade deadline. The Dodger bench was trash. And the only guy that could play more than one position other than Mookie Betts was Chris Taylor.
Right.
Then they go make these moves. They get Kike and they get Rosario. All of a sudden, if you notice, you look at the trends, Chris Taylor started playing a lot better because now he didn't have to do all the versatility.
Everything. He was the versatility.
Yeah. So now you had not only Mookie's versatility, now you brought Kike back because Kike is like, wherever, just play me. I'm just glad to be on a team that's going to win.
Yeah, but his defense is high end too. It's not like your sacrifice. His defense is really good.
Yep. And then Rosario's actually looked good at second. Shorts, he's kind of poo. His numbers aren't very good there, but at second he's good.
He's looked good.
He's looked good with the Dodgers.
This isn't been brutal But I agree. At second base, he looks good. Shortstop, he plays a serviceable shortstop, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not gonna. Well, there's no reason. No, there's no reason for him to take over from Rojas anyway.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. I mean, one of the things that must happen if they're up by one or more, that shortstop position should only be filled by Miggy Rowe. No one else.
It probably should only be. I mean, throughout the postseason. I mean,
yeah, I'd start him
throughout
every
the series
game.
anyway. I mean, his defense is just. Do you remember last year? Good.
Remember how bad Trey Turner was in the playoffs last year on defense?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that led to some key plays where it was like 2 errors, right? Where he dropped it or just bobbled it, or
so. I liked having Trey Turner on the team, but even in 2022, I was very underwhelmed by his defense the whole season. I thought, oh man, okay, yeah, Seager was solid, but it was relying on positioning and makes the plays he's supposed to make in general, right? They're like, oh man, Trey Turner is a better athlete. He's gonna be out there. He's gonna be
right.
And he wasn't even better than Seager. He might have even been worse.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't as. I mean, I thought the dependability was we didn't have to worry about shortstop from a defensive perspective, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, and
now with me, I mean, but get Trey Turner. I mean, he does so much other stuff that.
You want him? I'll take him back.
Plenty valuable, but
yeah, I'll take him back, just not at that price.
But Miggy I remember being so excited for shortstop defense since his tourist.
No, it's true though.
He has a better bat.
He
has a potential to have a better bat, but
yeah, especially with Muncy at third.
Right, exactly.
Because Muncy over there, man, it scares me. So Sal says he's not sold on Hayward being a big contributor in the playoffs. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I just want him to be solid, play good defense.
He's looked really good though.
Yeah,
last month and a half, he's looked really good. He had a good season, but I think he came on stronger at the end. I mean,
he looked like now the question will be, because with everyone, right? The pitching's going to be better. We're not facing the Rockies. We're not, so they're facing the best, the best of the best pitching. So that'll be it's going to be a difference maker, not only for him, but for Peralta. And that's why I wouldn't be surprised to see, even against a righty, Chris Taylor or Kiki Hernandez in left field. Just saying.
Left or right?
No, I think they're going to start with Jay Hay because I think they'll still go with him with Mookie at second. Well, who knows? I mean, they could mess it around. But there's been a pattern in general of going righties. It's going to be Mookie at second and Jay Hay and right.
Alman and Peralta.
Let's see. Am I okay? I've got a question. Are you happy with the Diamondbacks matchup, or you'd rather have had the weak Brewers lined up without Woodruff? I wanted the Brewers without Woodruff, no doubt. I'm going to echo what I said earlier. The Padres, man, this has that feel that team. It would make their franchise history other than when they won in 2001 if they win this thing. I mean, I don't know. So you go to Dodger Stadium, right? We only have banners of World Series. You go to Arizona, they have wild card banners. You go to San Diego, they have wild card banners. Yeah, there ain't none of that stuff here. So with the Diamondbacks, it'd be a big deal. The thing is, though, I don't think. I mean, half that stadium, more than half stadium, is going to be Dodger fans. I guarantee that. But
I also think one thing about Arizona, I don't think they have the. I don't think they have that one franchise. Their franchise guys is a rookie basically at this point, right?
Yeah, and he hadn't been through it yet.
Right. So I don't think they have someone maybe like I hate to say it, like a Manny Machado or someone just that's the guy.
Yeah.
Tatis he's been a few years as well.
And Soto. I mean, Soto was a world champion. With
Soto, yes. Was he there last year? He was.
No, right? He was.
Oh, Soto, yeah. They don't have that. They don't have that established. They might have the talent, but I don't think. And I think there's a psychological edge. I mean, we really beat on them at the end when they were kind of limping to the end. I mean, we were putting a beat down on them.
Yeah, I just want to see when Christian Walker is at the plate against Kershaw. Man, no one on base, please.
Welcome.
Yeah, Kirsch won't. He will not walk anybody. He doesn't care if the base is loaded and it's the
But
guy that
Christian
hits
Walker,
500 against
he
him.
kills us. He must be
I
batting like
know.
999
Yeah,
against us.
and
It's
especially
crazy.
against Kirsch.
Right.
Yeah, here's a good point here. Let's see. 2022 Padres had way more talent to pull off an upset. That is true. But Diamondbacks are they're not as douchey. You know what I mean? They're the Padres, yeah, the talent level Padres, man, they're just kind of clowns. You know, they're just clowns. Too many clowns. They need to fix the clown show. I think the Diamondbacks are a little different. And the Diamondbacks, what they do, the two things they scare me with, well, three, is the base stealing. They're gonna go crazy if they get on base. Gotta get on base. The bunt possibilities down third base with Max Muncy, who doesn't field bunts very well, and then Christian Walker.
Well, I think they also have the edge on pitcher or starting pitching at least. They're too high. I mean, I think their two top pitchers are pretty established. I mean, they're not really.
They're good.
We've killed them. We've killed Kelly. Like,
well, but that's another thing that kind of worries me, right? The Dodgers have never lost to Merrill Kelly ever.
Right. So
we can't be yet. Not yet, man. Not yet. So, I really, Dodgers should sweep this team. They really should. But
I'll be happy with 4.
Hard. It's hard. Yeah. I'll just be happy to advance. Same time, you know, I'm going to look forward just a little bit, but Braves and Phillies, man, that's going to be fun to watch. They're going to beat up each other.
I think if any team kind of can beat the Braves before, it's the Phillies. I had no confidence in the Marlins if they would have advanced.
Oh yeah,
zero confidence. But the Phillies, I think the Phillies have offense. I mean, and they can score 6 or 7 every game.
Yeah,
it seems. Yeah. And their offense shows up in the postseason.
Yeah, Nolan, Wheeler.
It shows up.
Good.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, Bryce Harper alone, man. Let's see. This is a good take here. I feel like the Padres had more desperation to beat the Dodgers. Yeah, it's that little brother thing. Diamondbacks seem like they're happy to be there. They're young core. They are young core, so nothing is at stake like the Padres who move for Soto.
That's true.
That's a really good take.
I think the Diamondbacks are up and coming. They're going to be. I mean, they're going to be pretty good. I mean, they're good this year. Pretty good, but I think in the next few years, 3 years, they're going to have a lot of talent. They're ready. I mean, their center fielder. I can't get his name.
Corbin Carroll.
Crazy good.
Yeah,
he's
Corbin Carroll.
Like he's good.
He's legit. What do you have at 2050? 20 plus home runs, and then
I think it was 25, 20.
Base.
Well, yeah. Well, he had like
something like that. Yeah, he was up there.
Well, he had a lot. Yeah, he had a lot of stolen bases, but
yeah, he was really good.
He's really
good. The problem with the Diamondbacks, they got to figure out a way to keep him. Now they did keep Carroll. They signed him like to a 10-year contract or something. You know, it's just a risk they have to take, or else. But you know, they're gonna have to deal with that. Craig Osterberg couldn't agree more. Muncie defense will cost us. They will bunt on us, and they're gonna bunt on us all day with that speed. They are. They're Muncie.
I think you got to play him up. You got to play him up. You just got to play him up. You got
to
sacrifice that double down the line, but you know,
and
especially with this speed, I should say.
Yeah, and then one of the things also, I mean, I remember at the beginning of the season, the Diamondbacks ran this. They put on roller skates against the Dodgers. Man, they were just flying around those bases. Just stealing all over the place. Dodgers tightened it up. They really
had to. I mean, they had to.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Dustin May was one of the worst. I mean, I hate that he went down, but he didn't want to hold anyone on. And there's some other guys like that. They just like, whatever. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully they're, what best defense is, of course, don't let anyone on base. When they get on base, they just got to hold them on.
You got to play Muncie up. At that point,
give the pitchers a chance to throw them out. Maybe they won't as much, and especially, let's say that their first guy gets on. Whenever their first guy gets on, and he steals and we throw him out, that's a game changer right there.
Right. That's a momentum shift, and especially in the postseason.
Yeah, and the good thing is with Kirsch out there, he does mind it. He minds his P's and Q's with those holding
with
runners.
Everything.
Yeah.
But outside of was it Carroll and I think Thomas, Do they have who's their other major threats? Or
There's McCarthy, but I think he might be out. And
I know Thomas is a
Marte.
big, but is he a stolen base threat?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Marte is a threat. They have their catcher went out. I don't know if he's healthy or not. I don't know if it was a concussion or what. He's been pretty good. He throws guys out pretty well on their side. I'm not really worried about the Dodgers stealing bases. I'd like them to put work some things
Freddie
around.
will take care of that.
Yeah, work some things around. I mean, but just be smart about that. Don't. I swear, one of the weakest things I saw of the team this year, our third base coach, getting guys thrown out at home or not sending guys.
The last 2 years, it's
bad.
been an issue.
Yeah,
the last 2 years, it's been kind of it's come up quite a bit.
And then he was doing. Here's the end of the year. JD Martinez is, just fresh off the DL, and he has them going on an infield in. What is it on a contact play? Why? Why would you do that? First of all, JD Martinez, he's not JT slow, but he's also not fast. And also he's kind of glassy too now. He's 35.
Well, he just came back it was a growing issue.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's he sending him for, man?
Yeah, I would say that's a risk reward.
Yeah. Here's a good take too. If the Dodgers, and then I agree, this is a good one because it goes back to 2021. If the Dodgers take care of business quickly, they can set themselves up to beat the wounded team, Phillies or Braves, since it's probably going 5. Remember, that's what happened to the Dodgers against the Braves in 2021. It was mentioned up here where, the Dodgers and Giants went 5 and they had to bring Scherzer in to close, which
and we lost really because of that.
Yeah.
We lost Buehler. That's what we lost them for.
Yep. It set up that whole thing. And so let's hope that doesn't happen again. Yeah, Freddie is their base runner. I'd put Mookie up there too.
Actually, Chris Taylor was he was pretty good until he got caught like the last 2 or 3 times. He was I think he was perfect.
Yeah.
He's 16-3.
Yeah.
And then Freddie's 24-5, 25 out of 25.
He was really good. Yeah.
Mookie surprisingly stole like 15 or 14 bags. It was but I don't want him injured. I don't care,
I know. And that's the thing. I mean, I think Freddie just likes to do stuff on the baseball field because it's showing, to be honest, it's a little showing off in that he's not the fastest guy, but for him to get that many stolen bases shows how good of a base runner he is.
And taking advantage of what's the base, bases being bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the pickoff too.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. We should have brought up Ruiz and traded Barnes and Nationals. Barnes had no value at the time. That trade. Ruiz, it was a huge prospect at the time. Yeah, that was. I hated giving up Ruiz, but that's just what it was. Barnes, he did throw out a guy this last weekend, but I expect him to catch very little. The only way I see him catching is if all of a sudden Will Smith reverts to 2020 and forgets how to.
That's what Barnes does. He comes to the rescue most postseasons.
Austin Barnes saved us in 2020. He saved us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I still remember after Game 4, that debacle against the Rays, and just writing an article for Dodgers Nation going, Barnes must catch those next 2 games. Obviously, Dave Roberts read the article. Obviously Doc read the article because Barnes did.
And it wasn't and it was Grandal before him.
Yeah.
Remember Grandal versus Brewers? Oof.
Oh my gosh, that was so bad.
Rough.
Yep.
Plus his bat has been, serviceable, I should say. He's been pretty good, Barnes. I mean,
no,
what a great time to figure it out, right?
He was terrible. For 4+ months.
Yeah, terrible was a nice word.
Yeah, he was batting 100. But he's done better. He's making better contact. He's working better at bats.
And that's all. If he hits 250, I think everyone's happy.
I just want him to hit 200. That's it.
If he hits 250, I think that's probably no one can ask. No, everyone's happy. No one can ask for more.
And at least with this series coming up, there's no games where there's 3 days in a row. So there's no need to go, because usually they'll do two games and then than Barnes,
Right.
2 games than Barnes. But they can't. I just don't think they can weaken the offense by either taking Smith out or Martinez out, because that's what
Well,
it
they don't have
needs.
that option because before Smith used to slide into DH role, right?
Yeah, and you get
But you're
we
not
ain't
gonna.
taking
I mean,
JD out, man.
and that's kind of one of the benefits too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
Smith. I mean, I think he's
Smith,
pretty clutch, but he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that thump, or at least the second half like JD has at all.
yeah. I don't. People saying they think Barnes is going to catch. I don't see when. I don't. If he catches Kershaw, I'll be
If
shocked.
Barnes is catching, it's because Smith is struggling at defense, which is probably
That's the only way.
we don't
Yeah.
want that. Yes, we don't
Yeah.
want that.
If put it this way, if they start Barnes, with just because Kershaw wants it, that means Kershaw's not being a good teammate. Then they won't.
I don't think he'll do that.
They won't. No, because can't remember last time Barnes started a playoff game, I believe was in 2020.
A postseason.
Yeah,
Right.
a postseason playoff game. And the only reason was because Will Smith forgot how to catch the ball.
Yeah,
He just
the defense just
he wasn't handling. Yeah, and he wasn't handling the pitching well. And so you've got to go with that steady right. presence. But you know what? Will Smith now is that steady presence. I saw him make some really nice plays. There's a play where Kike had to crash in for a ball, and he was throwing the ball while diving, and he one hopped it to Will, and Will scooped it like a first baseman with that big
his
old
scoop
glove.
was so bad in 2020. Like he couldn't scoop.
So now he was scooping that ball, a tough throw. This is a throw that if he would have missed, it was like, oh, that's a rough one. But he got the force out, and I've seen him just make a lot more plays. His tags have been solid.
What I say about Smith is his sequencing is a lot better.
Oh yeah,
he was so like it was like fastball, change up, go back to fastball. Oh, the fastball worked. Let's go for it 4 straight times.
Yeah.
And that's what they gave up when what was it? Who was Vesia? They just went. I think they went slider like 4 straight times. And it was like switch it up. Like what are we doing here?
Yeah, you just wonder what's going on with some of that stuff. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But yeah, Will's been a lot better now. And I think
his sequence is a lot better. I think.
Yeah, the pitchers seem to trust him more too, because Will Smith has obviously been spending the last few years learning from Austin Barnes. Austin Barnes is a baseball brain. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it for the 100th time. Truly believe that Austin Barnes will be a manager for the Dodgers way before Justin Turner ever will be, because Justin Turner hasn't showed any acumen like Barnes has. A lot of people haven't. Turner's a popular guy. Barnes is popular in his own way. They do call him the captain for a reason.
He's popular inside the clubhouse, which is kind of more telling as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're all I got a chance to get in there a couple times, and they had it's a
which
really
is a level of
chemistry.
respect for Barnes is
there's a lot of respect for Barnes, just because and for him to have his dignity, even while he was terrible, with all of us calling for him, for them to go and either get Hunter Fiducia back, bring Hunter Fiducia up. I mean, I was on that train. I was on the Phantom DL train for Barnes. Put him on the Phantom DL, let him go, bring Hunter Fiducia up. This is still like in June, July, maybe even into August. August was getting too late, though. They weren't going to bring Fiducia up then. But get him down there and then let him go on a 20-day rehab at Rancho, get those hits in, or Oklahoma City, wherever he needs to go hit. Rancho probably better because that's where, he's an IE kid.
That's true.
And then let him get that back and see what happens. But he found it. And they, by the trades that they made, getting all that depth, all of a sudden the bench was way better, and they didn't have to worry about bringing Barnes in necessarily to pinch hit. He was no longer.
They didn't have to rely. Yeah, they didn't really have to rely on him.
Yeah,
at all.
Versus
what they can ease him into whatever position they think he can see the most.
There's someone saying Quintero. What Quintero in the Dodgers? I don't know who he is. Is he low? He might be real low in the system. I didn't even mention him in my catcher's review, because there are some guys down in the DSL in Arizona. But yeah, catchers.
But the Dodgers are loaded. Like every level,
Yeah,
they have like a high, like a possible starter. It seems
yeah,
like at the major league
yeah.
level.
In my catcher review, there was 20 guys I covered. That's
At every level, they have a
yeah,
player that probably started that
yeah,
has a chance. I would say
yeah,
starting majors.
exactly. Yeah, I mean it.
It's wild.
Rancho alone between Galiz and Lorenzo.
Galise was a high end pro, and he's probably the most slept on
They
top
dropped
what top
they
10.
they dropped Galiz out of the top 30 for the Dodgers.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's how
crazy.
loaded they are.
But Galiz, so the Galiz
He's a
though,
top
man,
2 catcher at any other organization.
absolutely, he got so much better because
Oh, 100%.
he even last year Galiz didn't hit. You know what? Galiz is still 19,
Yes. So
but
for what is it? Yainer is what? How
20, maybe 21 now.
so
With Galiz, I didn't. You know what? I didn't. It wasn't until I was doing the broadcast about the catchers that I saw that he was 19. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because he did. I know Jesus. The way he carries himself. Oh heck no, no way is he 19. No, but he is. And
yeah.
so, but his maturity level, he's way up there, man. He's way up there. That's a guy I want to interview this offseason. I got to get a hold of Jesus. Yeah. And
Before
then
he was
then
high.
Lorenzo with 24 dongs, man. Like I told people, I said at the beginning of the season after spring training, that's a guy to watch. And boy, I got one right.
But I mean, any other, he's our top prospect. For us, does he even crack top 4?
For catchers?
And for the Dodgers?
No, yeah, Lorenzo's up there now. He's in their top 3 for catchers now. It goes right now, at least according to MLB Pipeline, it goes rushing first.
Oh,
then it
his
goes
bat is loud. His bat is
yeah, it
loud.
is. Then it goes Diego, and then it goes Lorenzo, and then it was Yainer, then Fiducia, then and Galiz wasn't even on the list. So that's silly.
Insane.
That's silly. That's silly.
But they're smart. I mean, catcher is the one position that, there's always a need for that. You can always trade high on that.
Yeah.
So they just stack the one position, that and shortstop,
Mm-hmm.
You
shortstop. And shortstop,
cover.
It's low down. It's low down low, or it's high down low and low down high. In terms of was it Great Lakes? Well, Gauthier got moved up to AA, but Great Lakes and Rancho were loaded, and then even in ACL, they're loaded at short. Just someone's got to really put that quality glove and bat together, and just right now.
The guy we traded was Leonard. That's who, and he was looking really good.
They basically just sold him too.
Oh, it was man. For cash.
Yeah, he crushed it in Detroit.
He feel like he kind of flipped the switch. So it's kind of weird. We've gotten rid of and then last year we got her to get Miggy. Was this offseason? Was it
It was Amaya.
Amaya, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I hated losing Eddie's.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I feel like hitting. He had just turned the corner. He was productive.
I know.
And it was for cash considerations.
I wouldn't have. Yeah, they just ran out of roster space because remember they acquired like 5 guys.
I'm thinking maybe he was included in the trade for
Rodriguez.
Yeah. And then they were like, well, you gotta get ready. I mean, there's no spots, maybe. Yeah. It fell through. I'm assuming.
Well, I hope Rodriguez is enjoying his time off.
We pray.
That was. Tell you, and it was mentioned on we talked a couple days ago on this thing, and we definitely were talking about it would have been nice to get Jordan Montgomery, man. Gosh, I wish they would have gotten that guy. Would have been a real game 3 starter for us. But Lance Lynn's been doing fine. He's he gives up a home run or 2 a game. Hopefully he stops that. Let's see.
Well, we didn't really give up that much. I mean, I was probably we needed depth, and he's done that. He's done that.
Yeah,
he gives us 5 or 6 every most starts. So
yeah,
we just needed that.
That one might hurt a little bit later, but it's one of those things where it's kind of like the trading Ruiz and JoJo. We got Max Scherzer and Trey Turner. it gave us the best shot possible to win in 2021, and I'd do that again.
We got Turner for a year and a half too. It wasn't just off season for, we went for a year and a half.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and so
that's a lot of value.
JoJo's doing well, and then Ruiz is doing well too. So it was tough, but would they have gotten the chance of the Dodgers? I don't know, but who knows? Let's see.
I still don't think Ruiz gets a shot over Smith. I don't think he does.
Yeah, never. Yeah.
And it's not on Ruiz, it just doesn't.
Right. It was a reality.
Right.
But yeah, this hepatitis C later mentions Jose Yoendres Vargas better start at single A. I don't think he'll start at single A. I think he's going to go to ACL first. And then he's coming to hopefully to Rancho by midseason. That's what they did like last year with my guy Josue DePaula or Josue. I gotta say it right. Josue. Did that with DePaula. I think one of the guys is going to start next year at Rancho. If he's healthy, is the Logan kid, Logan Wagner. And then we got Samuel Munoz coming, Yoendres Vargas coming later. So I'm excited. Yeah, Lynn just gives up home runs. Just make sure no one's on base. That's I'm seeing. So I'm responding to some texts. Yeah, well, the Braves did make him look really bad. I mean, they lit him up. But that's just one of those things. You just got to go, well.
Braves make a lot of people look bad. So what do you do?
Yeah. They if they do play, and if they play the Braves game 3, which would probably be where Lynn would pitch, would be at Dodger Stadium. Even though he got lit up at Dodger Stadium, still rather have him get pitch at Dodger Stadium than Atlanta.
It seems like it's just friendlier for runs or everything.
Yeah, and it's I kind of liked, not that I enjoyed it, but I liked the fact that the Braves kind of punched the Dodgers in the face. They needed that was good for the Dodgers to have that happen. They beat them 3 out of 4. I think maybe gives them a little overconfidence. Braves pitching, boy, they were, they're a little more questionable. Fried keeps getting hurt. Strider just throwing a ton of innings, a lot of pitches,
a lot of Ks, but his ERA kind of is up there as well.
Yeah, and the Dodgers got to him a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they can get him. Dodgers talent is choosing pitchers and catchers. Boy, you ain't lying. They got when they gave up Lance Lynn, they gave up they got Lynn and Kelly, not just Lynn.
Was it Figueroa, right? Was one of them?
No, that was the Royals one for
I have it right here.
For Yarbrough. But it was Nastrini and Jordan Leisure. So both and the Nastrini one hurt a little bit because he used to
Leisure was looking nice too.
Yeah, Nastrini actually shared the same pitching coach as my son. And
really?
And his catch partner in the off season is a kid that I coached for a couple of years. So he's a local guy. But in Nick, I like Nick a lot, but you had to give up quality. And Jordan Leisure's good too. Those are both good ones. Yeah. But you know what? The Dodgers, they're going to trade relievers all day because you find those. So any reliever the Dodgers have, other than when they had Kenley, they're all touchable. They're all they're fungible assets. They're like Bitcoin or something. They're
right. And they're volatile. They're volatile. That's how the Dodgers look at them.
Yeah, that's why they didn't give Chris Martin. They didn't match the contract.
Yeah,
I would have loved to have him.
Chris Martin's one that hurt.
Yeah,
he was our this year's Brazier.
Yeah, Coldplay was good, man.
Man, he was better than good. I
wanted Canely back too, but he was hurt again. So
Ryan, he went to the Yankees, right?
Yeah, he did. So the Dodgers don't want to pay. They just don't want to pay for that. I get it.
Well, they found Evan Phillips. They found, Almonte last year. This year a little struggle, but they have the ability to find players.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what separates them.
Yep. And Almonte he was hurt. I mean, I saw him pitch for OKC on, was it Saturday night when they had they're playing in that championship game, and Almonte actually started the first inning. He wasn't sharp.
He hasn't been last year was just, I mean, that was a phenomenal year.
He was missing big. You know what I mean? Where it's
His
not
sliders,
even competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even. It was kind of like how Pepio was last year, where he just wasn't being competitive because the pitchers were out of the hand, clearly not going to be a strike. And
you're missing by like a foot,
stuff.
or it's not.
And Almonte's stuff, oh man, he's got the movement. But maybe next year, he's a young guy.
And there might be an injury he just didn't disclose. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, that's part of it, just trying to get back from an injury. So probably trying to rush it, but I don't see him. It would take a few injuries for him to be on the postseason, any of these postseason rosters. So
but just the Dodgers being able to find him, find Phillips, find Vesia, find, all these players.
Yeah.
We got what? Brazier was a waiver wire. Almonte was a minor league contract.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so Phillips was like for what, a bag of balls?
Yeah.
I mean, these are all very like, but Phillips has been maybe like top 5 pitcher, relief pitcher in the majors. He's one of the best years.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just, why would they pay when they could just find relievers? I get it. It sucks, but
yeah. No, it does. And they just don't want to pay for them. That's kind of the bottom line. So,
well, I think they do, but they have to be like 2.5 worn up every year. Like if they're good, then they'll pay for them. But you got to be good.
Yeah, they'll pay Phillips. They're not going to pay him any like Kenley's contract, but they'll give him I think they're going to. My guess is they're going to try and lock him in for 2 years. And call it 2 years, $10 million.
Which I think is still a pretty 5 years, not because he still got what 2 years of arbitration.
Yeah, 1 or 2 at least. So so they could lock him up a little bit, and then maybe by that time the shine comes off, because the shine always comes off a reliever eventually,
right?
Because they just one of the reasons they're a reliever is they don't have enough pitches, right? I mean that's usually
or they don't have the depth. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I hepatitis C later. Yeah, I wanted Martin too. I would have kept him, but
Martin he's one of the few players who's had I would say just as a comparable season the next year in Boston this year. If you look at his numbers, his peripherals are ridiculous.
Yeah. He's just a good pitcher. He's just a good pitcher. And those are guys. He's solid. He's a vet. He's been around. Didn't he pitch in Japan? He's been everywhere.
Right. And he's got the size.
Yeah, I know.
The extension. I mean, my lord.
Yeah.
He's like 6'8". He's 6'8", tall, right?
Yeah. And for a guy 6'8" to really have his act together and his mechanics to be consistent and to be able to pinpoint like he does,
that's why he just was on his
rolls. There's not a lot of guys that can do that. But yeah, so the bullpen, I guess next year probably have 4 more different guys.
We'll probably find 3 or 4 invites that maybe 1 or 2 pan out. That's usually how it goes, right?
Well, and this last
off-season trade or what?
Yeah, this last year obviously Syndergaard bombed out, but the year before they had success with Heaney and Tyler Anderson.
They killed that.
Yeah, so I think and Brazier this year crushed it, and Evan Phillips has continued to be good. And for
Miller crushed.
Yeah. So they're gonna get the smart guys with smart agents aren't gonna go for that last dollar. They're gonna go, no, I'm gonna invest. I'm going to invest a year in the Dodgers, and then I'm going to go free agent and sign me a Tyler Anderson contract or a Smart contract.
Those fringe guys that need to build it back or build back that value.
Yeah,
they got the stuff, but maybe they just need to be in the right program.
Yeah, the Dodgers know how to do it, and again, they're not perfect.
They have a track record. That's what they do.
Yeah. That's their track record compared to most teams it's not close.
Right.
It's just not, man.
And Syndergaard said that it's just just his recovery. It wasn't the Dodgers, just his recovery. I mean, he's 93. He's 93, 94, and just
on a good.
He could be okay, but he's not it's not the same 100, 102 painting it.
Yeah,
and all the other stuff. It's just not the same.
Hepatitis C later. He had the person and this is the guy that I wanted was Matt Moore. Matt Moore would have, when the Angels released everybody, I wanted the Dodgers to get Matt Moore. Obviously, no one got to the Dodgers. And when those
Cleveland, took everything.
that whole waiver thing was stupid, though. The way it works, you can just grab all of them. It should be kind of like, okay, if you make a claim, and then the next one comes by, you don't get it, drops down.
You got to wait till everyone goes through, and then you get a claim.
Yeah, that's insane. But
that was unfortunate.
Didn't pay off. Yeah, that was ugly. I think I'm gonna do a session with Ryan Falla just to kind of do a talk about the Angels a little bit. Just it's such a disaster.
It just was it was. I think literally they went all in making the playoffs with Ohtani, and then just that would keep them. I mean that was their thing. It's just the little farm system that they had.
Yeah,
they traded for him for like 3 games and put him on wire, so they have nothing back.
Mm-hmm.
They it's just a hot mess.
Yeah,
you're not getting Ohtani. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're talking about trading Trout now.
Yeah, and
no farm system.
So I see articles about, hey, the Dodgers should trade for Trout. I don't even look because first of all, he's broken always. His contract is what, 35+ million a year.
Oh yeah, he's just and
it's another
it's
another 10
doesn't
years.
Get past Artie. There's no way Artie trades his all-time franchise player to his rival or whatever to the Dodgers. There's not.
But really, who's gonna trade for Trout?
I'm sure there's a market for him. I mean, he's not going to give you 160. He gives you 120 innings with 30 bombs.
Yeah.
300, 400, 500.
Yeah. That's true. But
if the Angels pick up some of that contract.
How many big dudes last that long? That was always, so I've been having a running conversation.
You got to get him off center field.
I've been having a running conversation with a buddy of mine at work. He loves Trout. I do too. I think Trout's amazing. But I go, look at him. He's so big. It's just, remember how Pujols, by the time he's 32, had nothing left because his feet.
And he's been running in center field.
There's so much weight. That's why Mookie, remember, he likes second base. He didn't have to go out as far to the outfield, but there's something to that.
Which is wear and tear. It's wear and tear.
Absolutely.
Either you get him in left field, something where you're not chasing every single ball down, or even as a DH. I mean, he can be what's it called? JD Martinez.
He looked
as a DH.
I know. Yeah. No, I could see that. But
his career numbers are like 300, 400, 600, something ridiculous.
He's amazing. But no one's been built more like a third baseman than Mike Trout. I swear. I know he wouldn't go there, but that's
Well, I don't know if he has the arm,
someone say Phils would want Trout. I mean,
cool.
Yeah, go for it, Phillies. Go.
Yeah, I can see
that. So the Phillies they're locked into Harper, that was a good deal.
This turned out to be pretty. He played his contract.
The Trey Turner win will not end well. But if they were to get Trout, they'd have another big contract on, and I think we're going to watch. Well, that's going to be one of the downfalls, the continuing downfalls.
I'm sure Trout goes. Trout goes to the Yankees because they just love those players.
No, they don't anymore. That's the thing, man. You know who the Yankees after 2018?
They need that star power.
They had Manny Machado wanted to go to them so bad, and they didn't do it. That was the right call. That was the perfect call.
Did they have someone at third?
No, they.
Is that
they had that.
The guy who went to the Twins.
And then he went to the Angels. He was
starts with Urshela.
Yeah, it's that guy. That's not a guy that you keep instead of Manny Machado. They had their chance. They haven't gone in. They went in for Garrett Cole. I'll give them credit for that one. That was it.
Yeah, but they're still paying what, $35 million for Stanton.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's 25 actually, but still that's a lot, and it's for another 5 years, and then they're on the hook for Judge for $40 million a year for the next 8 years.
He's played pretty well though, but right. For 8 years, maybe for the next 2. But he was out.
He was out. He was out a lot of time this year.
He's a Dodgers fan
again. Yeah. Thank you, Dodgers. Oh gosh, that sucked.
that's a freak injury. But
But he's a big guy. Big
he's
guys
another
break.
big guy roaming the outfield. You're right.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He breaks. He's gonna break. That's why it's good that Freddie's at first. And I wish next year I want Freddie to take some days off. I know he doesn't want to do that, but where does Juan Soto go? East. He goes east. He ain't staying with the Padres. He didn't
Well,
want
he has 1 year. Well, he has 1 year left, right? And then he's a
1
free agent.
year. Yeah, he doesn't. He's not going to want to stay with the Padres because he
Does he
has
sign with the Dodgers?
his ego's big.
He's 20. He's
But it
I
ain't.
don't
But it.
know. He's
But
24.
I know. But his ego's big. But
But you know, I
Tatis's
didn't hear
and
anything.
Machado's is bigger. Tatis
But
and
I didn't hear
Machado's
anything
ego's
bad
bigger.
when he was with Washington, and you had
No, no.
other maybe people to because he's still a kid.
He was King Rat. He had a big ego, but he had guys like Rendon who didn't like the
I don't
Hollywood
know about Randall.
lifestyle.
Scherzer
And
maybe.
yeah, but those were all so there was a good mix. The Padres are a bunch of immatures.
Yeah, but the leaders of the Padres are the problems too.
Yeah, I know.
That's the issue. Tatis is not it's not your role model.
Here's another one. Cashman chose IKF and Donaldson overpaying Corey Seager. So true. So true. That's
Yeah, there's been a lot of mistakes.
yeah. I mean,
I don't think
same.
Garrett Cole was a big. I mean, that was a kind of a no-brainer anyway. Everyone, I mean, the Dodgers
Yeah,
were on Garrett Cole.
yeah.
You
I
know?
knew. Yeah, if the Yankees want to dump him to the Dodgers, we'll take him. Yeah. I think he's get Cy Young this year. I think he's in line
Yeah,
for it. And then
he had a good season, a great season.
and then Seager. A lot of people laughed at him for going to the Rangers. You know what? The guy's got the equivalent of a California $401 million contract. He's in a place that I think he likes better than LA.
Maybe it's more, yeah,
Uh,
he's more comfortable there.
um, he can yeah, he
They're
can
very
carry.
hitter. They're very hitter oriented. Texas has been
Yeah,
known to
yeah.
be
And
very hitter oriented.
I think it's more his vibe.
Yeah,
And hey, you know what? There's a lot of people like Texas. Kirsch loves Texas. He can't wait to retire and go back to Texas.
yeah,
Put it this way, Kirsch is not going to live in Los Angeles when he retires, folks. He's a Texan. And Corey
yes.
Seager's from North Carolina.
Is he? I think he's from Florida, or is it North Carolina?
Seager? Yeah, he's from North
Seager.
Carolina.
Oh,
I was in North Carolina a couple weeks ago. It was beautiful. Even in downtown Charlotte on a Sunday. It
nice.
was there was not one homeless.
Mm.
No graffiti, no nothing.
Charlotte?
Yeah. Big city.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So that's Seager. And so
and you know what? Everyone has Trey Turner, like he wanted to play. They have that right at that point. Like the money's there for it. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, whether you get 300 million or like the money's there, it's just really preference at that point. And you get as a free agent, you're a top free agent, you get to choose. That's kind of like it's not always the Dodgers throwing money at someone. It's a two-way street.
Trey Turner turned down a bigger contract from the Padres.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he wanted to go back east. And, he talked about the Dodgers didn't make him an offer because the Dodgers weren't going to come close to that. Even if there was no competition, they were not going to give him 11,300.
Right. Yeah, they're not.
Because
they're not going over 5.
Yeah.
Because he's 30, right? He turned 30.
Yeah, they had a number. They had a number in their head, and the number. Remember this last offseason, the numbers were crazy. Soto going to the Mets for sure. That I think that's where I'd put my money right now. But I don't forget Washington.
Because I think Soto would be the consolation.
Philadelphia.
I think Soto would be the consolation for Ohtani. If Dodgers or Mets don't get the Ohtani, I mean Soto's the next big name free agent, kind of the next. It would be some consolation. It's not going to be the same, but
I think that my issue with Soto is, frankly, how long will he be playable in the outfield? Because he is only 24, and you don't want to sign a guy to a 15-year contract to be the DH.
Well, no, Dodgers don't do that.
Yeah.
Unless you're showing you can play both sides of the field.
No, Tani's a different story. Even though he'll be a DH only next year,
it's still gonna be A-WAR as a DH.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Ohtani brings in so much extra. there's so much.
Plus, he's basically what Manny Ramirez with 25 steals, even as a DH.
Yeah,
I mean, he's still what top three, top four hitter in the majors.
Yeah, he's sick.
Outside of even just pitching.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yep, and then he'll be our closer in 2025.
Hey, something, yeah, right?
That might work. That might be the way to go.
Or maybe they limit his innings. You know, I don't know what the Angels would. Maybe they give him like 5 innings, top out. That's it. I don't know.
What? So one of the things.
Just want to keep him healthy. You just want him healthy.
Ohtani with the Angels, so they managed him after he got out the DL, or after his first Tommy John. Then this last season, maybe even the year before, it was his way. Especially, you know, so he was managing himself, and that's not it. So I know Shohei Ohtani is a very,
that's the thing too.
Very smart guy, but he's not. He doesn't know. He can say, "I know my body." Well, guess what? You just broke your freaking UCL again, or close to it.
Right, and the issue is too. I mean, the red flag is that his agent will not disclose the surgery that he's had so far. They won't talk about it.
They'll have to. I mean, they'll know. He has to go through physical because it's going to be. What is it? Let's just call it. I'm just going to call it 10 years, 50 million, 500 million, 50 million a year.
I think the Dodgers. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Dodgers would rather be shorter and higher. That's always been their case.
Oh yeah.
So maybe they go 8. I don't know, 55. I don't know.
It could be. That's what they like. Yeah,
that's what they do. They rather overpay and just but not get those down years or all those.
Yeah. Well, the end here, like we've mentioned it, and it was in here too. You get Trey Turner. He's going to age terribly. I mean,
he's a speed guy.
Yeah, and so.
So do I think ages really well though, because he's a batting. His defense is already horrible, but his eye is amazing, and his plate discipline is amazing. Those are the people that age well. Yeah, his walks per K rate is like 1-to-1. He's like 3 years from his prime, which is crazy.
Yeah,
from his physical prime. I think he's If you're gonna bet, but I think in a locker room with Mookie and Freeman and hopefully Kershaw, but I think that checks his ego. I mean, you're not bigger than Mookie. You're not bigger than Freddie. Like you're not bigger than Ohtani. I mean, you're excellent, but
I'm worried about
that doesn't fly.
I'm worried about his Jock Peterson diet, and even being a DH, you can't have a Jock Peterson diet. Jock, I mean, my wife hadn't really watched the Giants in a while. She saw Jock, goes, "Is that Jock?"
Yeah.
What?
But Jock sold out. Once he got in the home run derby, he just sold out for home runs. That's all he cares about.
Yeah, but Jock
sold out.
Jock was an athlete.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once he got in the home run cut, he started hitting home runs.
But he's not anymore.
He just sold out for that home run.
I know. It's just awful.
He was a 30-30 player in the year before they called him up in AAA.
High school wide receiver star over Devontae Adams. Same team. He was Jock was the number one.
But even at AAA, he was 30 home runs, 30 steals.
Absolutely.
300.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was. But I'm worried about that with Soto. I think he's going to be big. His lower half, you can see it. It keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And he has to watch that.
That's one thing about the Dodgers. They sign players, and it seems like everyone just is lean. Freddie's pretty lean. Mookie's super lean. And those are the longer contract players.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they just age like just pools. It's so much impact. You just don't age well over time. It's just
if you watch
my hypothesis.
If you watch Mookie interview JD Martinez, Mookie's in shorts and he pulls his leg over, right? And his thigh, it's all muscle. Pause. Yeah. All muscle.
But it's lean.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've never seen something like that on
so it's Freddie. Look at Freddie. He's tall, but he's athletic lean. And that's what ages usually best. I mean, the bulky and the bulk doesn't age as well. It just doesn't.
Yeah, Freddie's
in most sports too.
Yeah, that's my worry with Muncy, and I think a lot of the chat is worried about Muncy too, because even though he's a really good athlete, man, it seems like he struggled at third base, and I think part of it is, little extra. Man,
I like
10
Muncy.
down.
But I don't see him as. I don't think he's a Dodger core player. I don't see. I think maybe in the next few years, but I don't see him. I don't think the Dodgers, because he's already what, 30.
He's gonna be 30. I think he's at least 32 now. He'll be 33 next
Right.
year, I believe. I'm gonna look that up.
And he's set to make what, I think, a
10
player
million.
option 15 million,
Oh,
15.
10. He's a
Man.
bargain, man.
Yeah, as much as you hate on Muncy, I don't think you're gonna get better
No,
for 10,
I
10
don't hate.
million.
I'm not hating on
Well, I'm saying
Muncy
I'm
at
just in
all.
the general crowd, but
Yeah.
I think he's more of a really good player, but I don't think he's not going to be those cornerstone players.
Yeah, but he's, you know what? We've had him since 2018 now. I mean,
He's been a bargain. I mean, he's beyond the bargain.
Oh, he's already 33. He turned 33 about a month ago. So he'll
34 next year.
Yeah, he comes back next year, but he plays most of the year at 33. Plays most of the year. He plays next year at 10 million, and they can keep working that contract.
Exactly.
Because also, if they don't, let's say that JD moves on and they don't get Ohtani, my DH is right there. He's at third base right now, but he's not a third baseman next year. I'd like to see him move off of that eventually.
I think they have him at third base because having Mookie at second maximizes the lineup. That's why. Because he's a better second baseman than third baseman.
And he doesn't even like third base.
Yeah.
He likes second and he likes first. But who else would you put at third? That's the problem.
Exactly. And they're better off with, Mookie at second than Muncy at second.
You know what? Now I'm thinking about it. We talked about Miggy Rowe being at
I love him at third too.
Yeah, but Miggy Rowe playing it short and playing it all the time. Maybe that last couple innings of game, Kike's at third.
Right. I mean, and Kike can do that. Even Taylor in a pinch can, these are what shortstops that move off. That's ideal. I think even Rosario can play third base. I mean, obviously you don't want him.
I've never seen it though. I wouldn't.
But if you can play shortstop and you can play second, he has the arm.
He's kind of below
in a
average.
pinch.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking. I want to lock it down, and I'm not putting Rosario there. I'm putting Kike there. Not Taylor either. It's Kike. I think he's easily their best third baseman defensively.
Right.
I don't think it's close. But yeah, it is a legit concern to be worried about Max Muncy's defense at third base.
Yeah.
Especially a team that's I think will very well could bunt, but boy, let's just go over his numbers just for a sec. I'm going to look at his numbers. All right. 2.6 WAR, 102 hits. That's pretty good for him. 36 home runs, batting average of 212, which is an improvement from last year because last year was a disaster. Scored 95 runs, 105 RBIs. Even got a stolen base, on base percentage of 333. I'm gonna go.
How many walks did he have this year?
I'm missing it. Let me go further down.
I got it.
Yeah, baseball reference. So walks 85, which that's actually low.
That's
for
pretty.
him.
Yeah,
that's low,
but it's still pretty good. 85 is top 10.
Yeah, 153 strikeouts. Slug 475, but 808 OPS. Just. You know what? For the price in 2.6 WAR, that's worth over $20 million right there.
Yeah,
and they're getting him for 10. So
yeah, he's a bargain. I mean,
yeah, he's a bargain, and that's what they do. That's why they can. They decide on certain guys. They go, Mookie Betts. Yeah, that's a guy we want to build around, and we want him to retire as a Dodger. Same with Freddie Freeman. They go, but versus. When they signed Trevor Bauer, right? They didn't give him a big long contract. They did the 3.102.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And thank goodness they did that. Because that whole mess didn't work out. Muncy is a streaky hitter. Yes, he is. And that's why I have him as my MVP for this NLDS, because he's gonna get on a hot when he's hot, man. The ball flies off that bat, man.
Yeah, but he also was, he's dealt with pretty unfortunate injury.
Oh god.
And when he was healthy, he was maybe our best hitter. What in was in 2021?
Uh-huh.
And he got injured the last, like, he was killing the ball. 368 on base, 527. He hit 895, 36 home run. Like, he was.
Yeah, he was really good,
and he was clutch.
Well, and to be honest, they didn't lose that playoff. They didn't get eliminated against the Braves. They got eliminated that last day of the season. Yeah. I knew it. I never said anything publicly, but I knew it. It's like, oh, Muncy's out. He
was carrying our off. He was like, at points. That's right. He was carrying our offense that year.
But we have Matt Beatty. Oh wait,
slight downgrade.
Slight. But we got River Ryan for him.
Thank God, Matt Beatty.
Yeah, Bauer got proven. It doesn't matter because it's all too late with Bauer. He's long gone. They didn't get anything out of him. And I'm not going to say innocent. I'm going to say he really shouldn't have been in that situation in the first place.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's safe to say.
Yeah. Don't put yourself in those situations, gents or girls. Don't put yourself in these situations where you don't know these people and doing weirdness. Yeah, I mean, Bauer's ship that sailed. It was a rough one. He should have been behaving himself. When you got a rich contract, man, you're a target. You are
literally.
You are literally
was a target.
Yeah, you're a target, folks.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, no. So I know all this stuff's come out lately about him, and which is fine, and that's why, it is what it is. But his behavior in general was not that if the Dodgers knew that, they wouldn't have signed him if they knew that he was hooking up like that. And that girl was, target's a good term, isn't it?
He literally was a target. So
yeah, you just got to be careful out there, gents,
right,
and ladies, and don't trust these people. Get to know people a lot better before you start even bringing them to your house, let alone doing any of that stuff. And I'm a Christian, so I'd say, hey, wait till you're married. Sorry, folks. Right. But be smart out there. Just use your brain. And he didn't use his brain. And despite the fact, and we, whether he's innocent or whatever, it doesn't matter, because he lost all that time.
Yeah, he lost, like, regardless. Yeah, he lost a lot.
Yeah, he lost. So it's a real bummer. Dodgers this year as role models, except for Julio. That's another guy.
But Julio's off. He's just done. Like, there's no.
He'll never be. He's
Julio,
gone.
Yeah.
And with him,
there's
I forget. Like when we were talking about all these pitches, I wasn't even thinking about Julio.
Yeah,
that's how quick I flushed it. And Julio, I've got 4 authentic jerseys of his.
I thought Julio was going to retire. Like, was going to be. He could have been a Valenzuela, like, taking it farther.
Yeah,
because they probably would have taken care of his arm a little better. But
and I literally went to we went to New York to see his debut.
He did, actually. Remember, he said that.
We were huge Julio fans, and it's disappointing. But I flushed that stuff because it's like, I'm just focused right now. Who do the Dodgers have? And right now,
what? The Dodgers are fortunate enough to have literally a stable of pitchers in AA and AAA.
Yeah.
In the next year. Yeah. Next year in the year, it's wild.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to trade players. There's no. You have Knack,
you have to.
Brasso, you have River Ryan, you have Stone. That's
so loaded.
That's a whole. I mean, you could start an MLB staff.
Yeah.
With those players, and they're high end. They're all high end.
Yeah. And there was a point here about, again, Dodgers this year as model citizens, and that's very true. And it says except for Julio. And I'm gonna say this, that if Julio would have been a free agent at any point before his first issue, where he got suspended for 20 games, I don't think the Dodgers signed him. They kept him because he was in the organization.
All right.
And that was it. That's what I think now. because I've had people tell me that the Dodgers weren't going to re-sign him, no matter, even before this happened, that they weren't going to sign him. So I think they got their money's worth from Julio. Yeah, they got their money's worth. I mean, and it's really disappointing. And I wish
Julio was
you know, I've had interactions with him. He's always been very kind. And it sucks, but the dude's got a real problem. He's got a real problem. It seems like he really should not be drinking. That's not an excuse, but he can't handle his alcohol. And you just don't touch the women, man. Don't put hands on a woman.
Right.
Shouldn't put hands on anybody unless you have to defend yourself. But that was bad. And the question is, when do the Padres or Astros sign him? That's my question.
I was going to say the Astros are probably the first one in.
Astros will be the first
on a discount, because I see it as a discount.
They will, and those are choices that they make. You know, they go, well,
right.
And the Astros did that with that Ozuna guy a few years ago, and then the Braves, they celebrate their Ozuna. They celebrate him like nothing ever happened. And the Dodgers at the same time had Chapman. They had Chapman.
That's that's one of the guys that they spend big for a reliever, because he was just the top of the game. But after that incident, no, there was no more.
Yeah. So that was the Dodgers have a higher standard. I think that's good. So yeah, Julio's gone, but you know what? I kind of got over it. Took a little while. And
it was shocking, right? It was just like, no.
And of course, what are my highest performing videos? My little reels of Julio. Still.
Right.
Yeah. So I got these, when I asked,
everyone.
When I had him I had that rehab thing, and I asked him a little question, "Are you ready?" And he answered. It was a real friendly thing. That's gotten almost 1 million views.
Yeah.
On Instagram, and 800,000 of them were after the incident.
Wow.
But I leave it up because I also, I'd like to, of course I'm grifting, but at the same time, I want people to have a chance. Go ahead and have at him. Don't make fun of it. Don't make fun of his physical stuff, but you know what? Have at him about what he did. Speak about it. He needs to. If you don't want the criticism, don't do the crime. And it is, it's felony, man. Deport that man. That's what I do. Get him out. He's not a citizen. Get him out of here. But yeah, enough of the Julio. Enough. That's a lot of wasted energy on that gentleman. Let's see what else got going on. That's after 11. Wow. Julio will be a Royal. I don't know about that, but the Dodgers have had some unlucky things. Yadier Alvarez had some issues. Yeah, that's mentioned. And they should have traded him instead of the other Alvarez, right? We've heard that story.
I still think it's because there wasn't a DH. I mean, there's nowhere easy.
Yeah, and I've also heard there was a prearranged deal because the Astros were over. They had already overspent, and so they wanted to get him, and so the Dodgers signed him, and then did the whole Josh Fields thing with Josh Fields. Gosh,
he was okay. He just got injured.
But still, 2017 World Series, he came in throwing fastballs. Remember, 1-2.
Yeah, but he was injured. He was
two at bats in that 10th inning, and the game was. Then the Dodgers had.
That was that was different. That was a pretty bad managed game.
Well, and they also knew that Fields. They knew what Fields threw. The Astros hit high fastballs. What does Fields throw? High fastballs.
Right.
He shouldn't have been in there, but that's Doc.
They were cheating.
They were cheating, yes. But Doc has this thing where he screws up early in the game, or a game or two earlier, and it has that impact, like starting Gonsolin and then having to bring Canely in, and then the next day he's not effective. Or in Game 3 of that 2017 World Series, they're down 4-1, and he brings in Brandon Morrow, who had just pitched. He pitched every game.
He pitched every single game.
And then he pitched in that game.
He was flat.
Pitched in Game 4, and then Game 5 comes in, throws 10 pitches, gives up 4 runs. Or was it 6 pitches, 4 runs? It was something awful. because he was done because Doc
They were
wasted
cheating.
him when he was down. You don't.
Well,
I think Brandon
I
Morrow into
I gotta
that.
give Doc some credit. There was from that series to now, he's a whole lot better. Because that
Yeah, well,
series was like everything bad you could do, like
he did.
every
Yeah,
rookie mistake, like
yeah,
he did.
he
He
did.
was just checking
Yeah,
them off. Like, okay, I did. Let me get the next one. It just
yeah,
seemed like everything he did was just the
yeah.
wrong call.
He had nothing left.
Everything.
Nothing left in the extra innings. I mean, he took out a lot of people say Rich Hill too early. I think that's a good debate. I think that's a good debate to have. But then Stripling comes in, walks about it, pulls him. Watson comes in, gets a double play ball. One batter though. I think it was even one pitch out.
What inning is this? Or what?
That
What
was
year?
middle of game 2.
This was
Um,
17.
yeah, 2017. But it all then so it goes to the end, and he's got nothing left.
Right, because because there's no contingency plan. It's just this is gonna work
Yeah,
or is it gonna work?
and it just kept rippling, So
Oh yeah.
and so a manager has to be careful with that, and that's why narratives with Kershaw do scare me. I don't know who else is scared about that, but it scares me that they're gonna run that
I just
narrative.
hope that he's a 3 or 4 inning pitcher at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think that's what he had, and that's fine. But he's at this point he's 3 to 4 innings.
But he also has to play with enough urgency. But there's a balance, right? So it's still game 4 last year. Anderson goes only 5, and then they start. Martin comes in for the 6th, but they could have delayed all that. They could have delayed all that
Right.
stuff. But
Martin.
so he has Almonte comes in. No, Kahnle comes in, can't get anyone out. And it was a couple just silly plays. No one hit the ball hard off of him.
Yeah, it was a little fluky.
No luck. Then Almonte comes in, then Vesia comes in. But guess what? He was saving Evan Phillips for the 9th.
Oh yeah. Right.
Game was over.
And it's weird because the Dodgers, their philosophy is the higher the leverage, the best reliever, right? That's their thing, right? They've been one of the ones that they'll use Phillips in the 7th or the 8th. That's why there's no closer or whatever. But
yeah, I mean, here's Yancy Almonte's first playoff series, and he's pitching against the top of the order,
right?
And Kim hits that double. I think Soto then tied it up.
At that point it was like this is over.
But he had, so instead of bringing in Almonte, it should have been Phillips. So he's got to go and play with the right amount of urgency. That doesn't mean you pull pitchers too early when they're doing well, which he's got to, we know the history of that. But it's also going, hey, it's the right. It's not.
This is the highest leverage situation in the game. I need my best reliever
against good teams, because every team is good in these playoffs. I don't care who they are. They're all really, really, really good, and they're all
just levels so good. Yeah, but they're good. We got there for a reason.
They're not playing Colorado at home,
right?
In a September game where they don't care, and that's because if Vesia comes in and dominates, Colorado team. Okay, good. I'm glad you did your job. But did he dominate the games where he needed to dominate? And I'm picking on Vesia or Almonte, whoever. Right. You got to go with your best in that tough situation. Because if Phillips gets through that 7th inning, they may not even face Machado and Soto again in that game.
Right. And then plus that's, there's only so many threats in the postseason. And that was a threat. And, if you lock that down, that could have been game, you win game 4.
Yeah.
Whatever happens in game 5,
Yep.
But
exactly. I was ready for game 5, man.
I was ready for the World Series. I was like, no way. We won 111 games in the regular season, and we won 1 game in the postseason.
So embarrassing.
That's bad.
So did you hear the story that Miggy Rowe was talking about? I think it was after Kansas City, and they lost 2 or 3 in Kansas City. And they said he spoke up, said, you guys are still acting, all pissy because of what happened last year. And that's when he started the shots of, so every time they win a series, they take a shot of tequila.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so he says we're going to celebrate on the way. So every series win, so let's say it's a 3-game series and they win the first 2, they take shot after the second game because they've won the series.
It's a one series. Yeah.
Yep. So that's what they started. He brought that into that team, that leadership, going, hey, you got to get over it. Last year is done.
You want it hanging over your head.
Yeah.
You're just
so
living in
it's like, yeah. So they're celebrating the path, the path,
the journey,
the process, the journey. Yes, that's a better word, which is cool because they're just going, let's see.
Live in the moment,
Oh, this is a good point. This has happened a few times this year. Roberts has pitched Phillips up by 7 runs and he can't use him third game of series. I know. We've seen that.
But I think the Dodgers handle the regular season differently than most clubs because they just, I feel that it's kind of, they know they're going to be in the postseason, so maybe at that point they don't care. They just want to get his work in, or I don't know how they. I just don't think the Dodgers. I mean, it's pretty obvious the Dodgers don't play every game like it's do or die in the regular season for better or for worse, because I think they just know they're going to be in the postseason. So it's just kind of, they might give up a game here or try something here, and then
no, they do,
they don't care because they're going to be in the postseason anyway.
Yeah.
And they're going to be judged by what they do in the postseason. And
yeah, I think because we to be honest, and I'm this way too. I live when I'm watching the game, I'm in the moment. They don't even think about it afterwards. You go, yeah, I get it, but same time though, yeah, you pay to go to Dodger Stadium to watch a game. I paid money. I want to win. I don't care. I don't care if they've got 125 victories and they're all sewn up. I want to win. I paid to go to that game, or I took my kids, my family there, or relatives or friends. I want to win. I hear
you. As a fan, it's different.
Win. Yeah.
But as them managing the club, there's always a long view.
Yeah, and they have to. I get it. I really do.
It's more.
And he's done a pretty good job with that. I thought he pitched Miller too much near the end. I would have toned it down a little more. I thought he was toning it down a bit. Then he kind of juiced it up again.
Maybe maybe that's expectation in the postseason. You're going to go 6 or 7 if you're on it.
Yeah, Bobby's man. So
but Bobby, he has that frame. If Bueller had a 6'5" frame,
oh God.
I mean, he'd be. But Bobby has that frame where he can last. He can, I'll say abuse, but you can ride him a little longer because he's bigger. It's less of an impact on his body. Yeah. And I think he's going to be more durable that way just because of that.
He did have a shoulder injury at the beginning of the year. That's the worry.
I
got a chance to talk to him a little bit. The last time I had a press pass, what was that? August, I think.
Nice.
August or July, I don't remember now, but I talked to him a little bit about that. I think it was August because I said, hey, how you feeling? Because last time I reintroduced myself because I had met him in spring training where I took that picture with him and Diego. And so I reintroduced myself. Yeah, you were really upset after your bullpen. He goes, yeah, my shoulder I didn't know where things were going, but he said, he's feeling good. So hopefully
his stuff is not dropping down. I mean,
no,
it doesn't look like. Yeah, he's kind of saying he's staying 698, 99 in the 6.
And I think, I would think though that missing time at the beginning of the season helps.
It was a blessing, yeah.
Same with
less wear and tear,
right? Same with Pepio,
right? Wow, Pepio I wish would have pitched a little bit more, but you're right.
But he's good now.
He's probably the best the best trade acquisition the Dodgers or anyone.
Yeah,
how he's pitched he's like a number 2.
Yeah.
And his stuff, his presence and that's what I do like about Dodgers. It seems like their players learn. From last year, what was he like? And kind of that presence, that that assertiveness, and then this year, like he just did what he needed to do.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And it's just night and day.
Different.
Night and day.
Yeah, very different. He could have really sulked. He had that job. He was the 5th starter coming out of spring training.
This year, yeah. Well, he deserved it from that. He did pretty good last year.
But he earned it in spring training because his spring training was awesome.
Filthy.
And then he pitched a game and he didn't tell anybody that things weren't 100%. Then he had to leave that game I don't
And he
remember
was
what
done for like 4 months. It's just
yeah.
out of all years to like
Oh my gosh.
decide.
But it is a
Well, not
blessing.
decide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think if he were to look back on that, he'd go, hey, I'm glad now I'm fresh
he's
or
fresh.
he's yeah.
He's like in May, June now.
Uh-huh. He's
You know,
ready.
he's
Yeah.
fresh.
And they I don't even know Sheehan, they all kept their numbers pretty low. Miller's probably got the most, but even him,
Right.
it's a late start. And some of these guys, and my concern is, these guys haven't pitched in October in any of their lives other than maybe in travel ball, right?
But there's no way around. There's at this point, it's
Mhm.
there's no alternative.
I
So
know
I
it
think that kind of takes the pressure out too, because there's
does.
nowhere to go. It's not like this is a personal like this is it.
Yeah. And
It's
if for
like whatever
and
sticks, sticks.
and no matter what, so we obviously want to win this whole thing, but if for some reason they don't, they're getting that experience. They're only going to be better prepared next year.
Yeah, the starting
They're going
pitching
to
staff is
learn.
just ridiculous for the
Yeah,
next
they're
few
going to
years.
learn. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
It's actually pretty exciting to think about like who
yeah,
they're gonna keep and what can they get from who they obviously they can't keep everybody, but
right. Yeah. Well,
it's just exciting,
and we got Bueller back next year too. See,
right? Bueller, Miller to head up, and then you have your pick of Stone, Knack, Brasso, maybe River
mhm,
Ryan. Like it's just ridiculous.
yeah.
It's just
I
crazy.
I, I got to be
The level
honest.
of talent is just wild.
If Bueller was healthy and able and was normal Bueller, I would easily pick the Dodgers to win this whole thing easy.
Oh, I don't think people realize until Bueller went down
Stud.
how amazing and that's not even counting the postseason because Bueller's a different animal in the postseason.
Uh-huh. Yep.
He's basically
Till
you're
they
not
abuse him.
he's the well that's because of Scherzer, but
Yeah.
we literally lost a year of Bueller because of Scherzer. That's my opinion.
Well, but the Dodgers did not have to pitch him like that. They did it. They didn't have to do that. They did it. They made a choice. They pitched him twice on short rest. That's criminal.
But it's also I'm sure Bueller was the
Doesn't
first
matter.
one to actually push. Yeah, no, you're right.
I know.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Look what it did to Kirsch.
He's a gamer.
Look what it did to Kirsch. How much have we lost of Kirsch because of those times where he pitched on short rest?
That was also when it was just Kirsch.
Doesn't matter.
I don't think, and current management, I think they would have done. I don't think they would have pitched him like that.
You never know, but they did it to Bueller, a guy who'd already had one Tommy John. I'll never understand that. It doesn't make any sense because if they're going to go to a game 7, they were hoping to have Scherzer. He had nothing left. He was done. And so they had a bullpen game, one of those games. So you might as well have just said, well, let's preserve Bueller for one more day.
Yeah.
But
that's probably the most unfortunate thing.
Pitched him twice on short days. Yeah, those injuries, that team just fell apart injury-wise. Remember Turner?
Well, they were a shell of those. They were a shell at that. By the time they got to Arizona or Atlanta, it was just
Even again at Dodger Stadium, I remember Turner was trying to leg something out, and he pulled something. He was out, and our bench sucked.
Everyone was just fall apart.
They had nothing left. So health is a key. Let's be honest. Let's back to the whole playoff thing. This is a really good point. And kind of going back in history, what they do with Kenley Jansen. During the season, he would pitch for 3 outs, but then postseason, oh my gosh, no matter what, we got to pitch.
We have to. And it never worked. It seemed like it just never worked. Like every time they did 6 out, I think it was he had success. He had success with the Nationals, and since then it was like, well, he just does 6 outs.
Yeah, but
it's like it just never worked. And it's like, please give him three outs. No, we'll give him 6, and we lose the game. Yeah, it's just clockwork.
Yeah, no,
I think actually that's what kind of led him to some of his injuries as well.
Mm-hmm.
Was the national game, was the 6 innings, because I mean he was with the what is it? When we played the Astros, he was the best pitcher in the game.
I know,
like bar none.
Yeah, then all of a sudden
he was Chapman. There was no need to trade for him because he was that 2.5 WAR reliever, which is crazy.
Yeah, he came in the 8th inning after Bregman hit that ball that Puig should have caught, but he was not playing when the position he was supposed to be playing. So I'm never forgiving Puig for that. I'm not, because that cost the game. Because Bregman got against the Astros game in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Morrow pitching.
You do
Morrow
mention that.
pitching. Yep, he missed that ball, and he should have been there. He should have had it easy. Bregman gets to second base. Jansen comes in. So Morrow didn't get anyone out in that inning. He got 3 outs previously. So they're doing it with Morrow too, who was remember he was coming off years of injuries and then never
Right,
recovered.
that's why he was a reliever that year.
Yeah. And then Jansen came in and got the 3 outs, but I don't remember how Bregman scored. Doesn't matter. He got 3 outs. And so when he pitched in the 9th and threw the
what was that, game 2?
There was game 2. Then he threw that 0-2 to Marwin. To Marwin in the second inning. And it's like
he looked gassed after the first inning. And then
I know, because he'd also pitched the day before. And the people he only threw like 11 pitches. It doesn't matter. Every time you warm up, you're doing things. And then also
plus he had two previous series because he's in the postseason. So it's
yeah, and some of those were two out inning, two innings, 6 out innings. And then also think about it for a second. All season, you're used to just getting 3 outs.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you go the 8th, then you sit down.
All the adrenaline is just flush.
Yep. Then you're coming back in. Versus when they come out, remember when they come out of the bullpen, they're not like they're hot. They're coming right in. They're
ready.
Pitches. They're jogging in and they're still hot. Versus going in and sitting down and then going, okay, now I got to get that back. And it's like, and for
closers, it's always that edge too. That's why when they pitch Phillips with 7-run lead and he just looks like trash because they don't have that edge. He
doesn't have the edge. Yeah, we've seen that so many times with many relievers. That's just the way it is. It's as anyone who's played the game knows that it's.
They embrace
what did Yogi say? The game's 80% mental and
50% physical.
90%
mental, 50% physical.
Yeah, 50% physical. I mean, so it's as true as can be. It's true though. I mean, in terms of it's such a hard game to play. It is the thinking man's game. Sorry, girls can play too, but Major League Baseball, it's thinking man's game. And we used to coach that. We talk about that when we coached. It's not for a person that does it was just pure instinct, like Puig, who just should be in the Hall of Fame.
Easy.
Yeah, and Jansen was trying to get over a heart problem with Colorado. That was so scary. And it took him a long time to get his velocity back. He didn't get his velocity back till he went back to the Braves.
So he went to Boston, right?
Yeah, Boston.
He's hitting 99 now, which is there's another dude pissing me off, but yeah. Well, he was showing signs. He was getting 95, 96. Yeah, even 97 sometimes. I think it was against the Mariners. Just had this crazy, but it wasn't consistent.
Right. Yeah, because sometimes you come out of the bullpen throwing 90.
91, 90, and you're like, oh,
yeah, you're like, days. Huh?
It's one of those days.
It's gonna be one of those days where you just gotta hope they hit it at somebody.
Please pop up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was really it. It was and I think part of that was mental for him too. I've never had a heart issue like that. I mean, how scary is that? The guy could have died straight up.
He had a few issues. It wasn't just one year. It was like back-to-back years.
It was multiple. Yeah, he had to have he had a procedure. He had 2 procedures on that. So scary.
And plus, I think it's also just having that failure, and it's the same thing with like like you mentioned with the Miguel Rojas, where it's like it just sits there, and you're just always trying to address or overcome this failure that you're never going to come because it happens. You just got to flush it and just stay in the present.
Yeah, and with Jansen also, I mean, because in 2016 they went deep. They took the Cubs to 6 games in the NLDS, and he pitched in a lot of those. And
they used them.
And then he pitched 1 or 2 innings in just about every game. Him and Morrow were switching, throwing too many pitches.
But they didn't have anybody, right? Because they had Fields in the
They did though. They had remember they
What's
had
the lefty? I used to love that lefty from
Singrani.
Cincinnati. Oh
Singrani.
man, I love that dude. And he was dirt. I mean, he was just mowing people
Mm-hmm.
down
They
too.
pitched, but they pitched
They pitched
Josh
him like once or
Fields.
twice.
They pitched Josh Fields and Brandon McCarthy instead of Tony Singrani. He did not pitch in that game because of
He only pitched
matchups.
like twice. Yeah, twice in the series, right? It was just kind of, it
Yeah, he
was
barely
weird.
pitched, which
And
is
when he did
crazy.
pitch, it was just mown down.
He
But
was
like,
good for the Dodgers, man. He was
yeah,
really good. And
he was a
you know,
power lefty that had figured it out at
and
that point.
he should have been in that game in the 10th inning
I think he should. Well, he should have
instead
been
of
used more. Yeah.
Fields. But it's righty versus lefty. Just freaking go with the best pitcher in those
Yeah,
situations.
Fields also. It just feels just. He was he was Ryan Madsen for 2018, where he just goes in, he's gonna give 2 or 3 runs, but we're gonna use them.
Yeah, well,
We're just gonna keep using them
because it didn't match up well. You know,
yeah.
the Astros were a team that hit the high fastball, and Fields had success with the high
He had the
fastball.
curveball and the high, but he just couldn't spot that curveball. And and the Astros, because he's been with them for like how many years, they know that.
Yeah,
they know him.
Yeah.
They know his tendencies. They know he gets away with, what he doesn't. So it's kind of like
and you know, and it was also that's his first game in a World Series.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just
it still hurts.
I would have. It does. Oh man, we should have had.
It's what is it? 7 years later.
That should have been our parade, man. I still think that's why you know people poo-poo the 2020 Dodgers. People forget that before spring training is when all this crap broke about the Astros.
Right.
That and I remember being at Fan Fest that year, and people were pissed that every player, everyone was pissed off.
That's what I'm saying. Give the was it to 2022 Astros some time. It took 3 years to break the story. So
yeah,
but,
so I think but I think with that, you know, the Dodgers, they were going to win that year.
Well, they're the best. I mean, yeah, they were the. It wasn't. People
close.
talk about, but it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't like they were just like this. You know, they barely got it. They were like from game 1 to game 60, whatever. They were the best team, with like it wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close. That's right, man. Yeah. So this team isn't as good as that team, just by the starters and not having Walker Buehler and more prime Kershaw. Kershaw was good in 2020. He was really good in the playoffs and everything.
He was healthy at that point. Yeah, that was his best postseason run.
Yeah, that really was.
Well, we had him, Buehler. We had what? Woodies was in the bullpen. Who was our other starters?
No,
I don't remember.
They did a lot of
Hill. Was Hill still in there or no?
No, we didn't have Hill, but they did a lot of bullpen games. You know, the Gonsolin got some starts. I mean, he only went 1 2/3 in game 6.
May was pitching.
Bullpen
was pitched for a little bit.
Yeah, May got some starts. He got some innings. That bullpen was good because after 2019 they talked about variety, and after 2019 they got variety. They had Trinan, they had Alex Wood in that bullpen.
He was a savage.
Floro
was amazing.
Floro got a Rosarena to get him out. I mean,
Victor was legit. Like he was kind of like the weapon, like a secret weapon. I mean, he was just getting everybody out.
Yeah. I know. Well, and I don't think Victor threw a strike all year, man. People chasing that stuff in the dirt all year.
Yeah. And it wasn't like close either.
Yeah. The only pitcher that really struggled in that postseason was Baez. Remember, he came in and he got lit.
Kenley got lit.
Kenley, yeah. I know that he wanted to close that game, but
that
was the one. So that, in my opinion, Doc in game 5 and game 6 were easily his best managed games he's ever had. He got away from the narrative.
But
remember, he took out.
But the narrative was to get Kenley to close it, and
he took it away. He said
he gave
right.
Well, we got to win. Like no more of this. Put Trinan in there and just ride that train.
And he did the right thing with all that stuff. He managed those games really well. And remember Trinan, he'd come in like 4th or 5th inning just to because he was getting outs, and that's the way you do it.
You couldn't hit Trinan that year. I mean, he was just
he was
99 down, super curve, like Mario curve the other way.
Mm-hmm.
It was just dumb, and I think we've missed him the last 2 years.
Yeah. I never know.
I wish he would get healthy.
I know he tried to come back again. He pitched a little bit in OKC. Let's see. Question: will the Dodgers get Mike Trout in the offseason? I'm going to say no.
No, well, yeah,
Just don't see it.
I don't think the Moreno's not going to trade with it. I mean, that's just that alone. That's it.
But
He's not going to give his franchise player to the Dodgers after they sign his other franchise player in Ohtani.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be great. You know, Artie Moreno deserves
everything he's getting.
Yeah, he does. I mean,
did you hear that for the 2001 World Series reunion? He asked the players to come, but they would have to pay for their own travel and lodge. Like, come on, dude, that's pretty bad.
So Mike Trout is already 32.
Uh-huh.
And he has, let me look at his contract.
Probably has another. Well, did he sign like a 13-year, like something ridiculous?
But it didn't even.
It's up to like 4-year 40, I think it is, or 42.
He has all the way through 2030 at 37 million. So I don't see the Dodgers making that commitment. They would rather
unless they pay half the contract.
Yeah.
Which again, I don't think Reynolds sending money to the Dodgers anytime soon.
Yeah. Just crazy. Good. I mean,
I could see another team like the Yankees or someone picking him up, or the Mets. Like, they kind of need to change the narrative.
But the sad thing is, the Angels will have to pay some of that contract.
Oh, they should, 100%.
Yeah, they made that call.
They should,
and they haven't. They didn't do what they needed to do. I mean, Artie's been in the way the whole time.
Yeah, it just hasn't worked. I don't know. That's a complete different. That's hard to be an Angels fan. I mean,
yeah. So I mean, I'm sure he would love to go to Philadelphia. I don't see Philly making that move. Yankees, not the Yankees, but the Mets.
The Mets
are always the Mets are. Well,
I think they've unloaded a lot of contracts.
Yeah, but they're paying a lot of that still. So the Scherzer and Verlander contracts, they're paying most of those, but they got good prospects.
Is it per year or?
Yeah, they got Scherzer for another year, and Verlander for probably 2 because he's going to meet the.
Have they blown past the luxury tax the last 2 years, or? I know this year for sure.
There were
the year before too,
including luxury tax. They're at 455 million, and they're still going to be way above it next year.
Is it going to be the 3rd year over? Because then that's when they start getting the penalized. I don't know. Do they still penalize for the international or in the prospects and all that?
Yep. Dodgers because of
Peralta, the Dodgers I think.
They were. It was because of Bauer, the Bauer contract. If he would have been suspended the rest of the year.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, this is last trade. Jock and someone else went to the Angels in a trade, but trade was vetoed. Yeah, it was Jock
and our
chicken strip,
Cuba, and the guy from Cuba,
Andy Paez.
Yeah, thank God he said no.
Yep, for Rufino, and there's probably more. But when that trade,
Rufino.
Huh?
It was mostly for Refugio.
Well, because the Red Sox wanted him. So I literally spoke with somebody about this. His name was Ross Stripling. So Rufino, whatever, was supposed to go to the Red Sox. When that didn't work out, that means the Dodgers had to trade Jeter Downs, who actually hasn't worked out. I think it was. I'm thinking, was it Ross?
I wish we would have signed him.
It might have been Ross because I was hanging out with him at spring training that year. But man, forget Paez. Jock Peterson, that postseason, man. Jock, that's where Jocktober was revived after. Remember 2017, he was really good, and then 2020, that dude would come off the bench and just.
We missed. That's one thing I think we've missed is his cockiness or whatever. But in the postseason, Jock, there's he's second to none. He shows up in the postseason.
He does show up. Yeah,
and I mean when he showed up for the Braves, I mean it's true. I mean when they asked him he's like, he's a pretty good player in the post. He comes through.
He does because he's relaxed. He doesn't. He keeps his level here, and everyone else gets too nervous and they fall down. So Jock's just going, I'm Jock Peterson. I'm the same.
This is what I do.
This is what I do.
This is what I do.
Else, and then you got guys going, it's the postseason. I'm uptight. So their performance.
Let me second guess. Yeah, exactly.
Their performance goes down. Yeah, because that trade breaking down, we did get Gratterall, God, you know, the one guy
And
didn't pitch.
Grado's only like 24, and this
I
is what,
know.
his third year, fourth year in the league.
I would love to
He's
get. I would love to get Kenta back next year, but he
That's
doesn't
what I
want.
was thinking too.
But I only want him as a reliever. That dude was nails.
As a reliever, that's who we had in 2016,
We
right? Or
did.
he was a
He
reliever at that point, and he was
no, that wasn't until 2017. 2017 was when he became a reliever, like in September, because in 2016 he pitched. I remember he pitched a game against the Cubs and got lit as a starter. I think it was their elimination game.
but
He
as a
was,
reliever, he was like
or that
2.7
was
ERA.
Kirsch. Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's a stud. And the only bad thing I ever remember was when freaking Altuve took him a yard after
It
he gave in. Well, because Kenta gave in on the pitch. He was throwing slider, and then it was 3-2.
High fastball.
Altuve was Altuve, and well, anything is a pitch to Altuve is high. But Altuve, and we know the sign, we know what was going on. Altuve can say it wasn't me. Yeah, I don't believe you, dude.
Well, yeah, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe him. But
well, he's lost all credibility.
Yeah, they gave in to him because during that game, Clayton Kershaw threw 50 breaking balls.
Zero swing and misses, right?
And got no swing or misses.
First time in his career ever.
Yeah.
Actually, first time ever in his career.
Yeah, and probably the only time.
Yeah, still the only time.
Yeah, so Kenta came in and gave that up, and that really that caused the game to really go south.
And what's great, out of everybody, Alex Wood was the best. He pitched the best in what's it called, in Houston, and by far it wasn't even close.
Well, you heard the details, right, about him and Barnesy. They had like 100 different signs.
Well, because they actually did something about it.
Yeah,
they just kept switching it, because they
yeah,
actually took it seriously. Where I don't think they took that seriously.
They didn't know the trash can banging was going, but they knew that that things were happening, because remember the day before with Darvish got lit. And it was clearly because they were picking him, and they told him that he was tipping.
Who told them?
They said he was. Oh, the Astros said, "Oh yeah."
Well, yeah. Well, that's what they said. Yeah,
that's what they said, and it got into his head. Utley said he wasn't tipping. If Utley says
he was right,
tipping,
he
wasn't tipping. They were cheating. Yeah. So Wood knew that they were getting the sign somehow already, and that they had already gotten.
He didn't take any chances.
They didn't.
I think. I didn't think they knew how far it was, but or how much they were cheating. But
in Kershaw, to be honest, why didn't he take the same approach?
That's what I'm saying. Well, he obviously didn't, right?
Because he didn't. He didn't. No, because the signs.
I don't think he took it. I think he figured, well, if I pitch my game, doesn't matter what they know. Or that's what I figured he said.
Yep. Because that dude, he would have been the MVP of that World Series.
Oh, he was nails. He killed game one. He came back game 7.
Even in his second game, he was good until all of a sudden things really picked up.
Well, he was up by 4. He gave up like 4. Then he was up by 5, or I don't know, it was like 4. And it's like, oh, he's never ever like
that was
given up 6. And then on cue, they hit a 3-run home run. It's like, all right, this is. So I don't know how much you blame Rob. Yeah, but Roberts was.
Well, yeah, Roberts. You can't blame him for the cheating, but you can blame him for overuse of Morrow. So that
I don't know how Morrow even had a good pitch the next year. I mean,
he didn't.
Right,
he pitched a little bit and then fell apart.
The Cubs signed him, right? The Cubs signed him, and he pitched 20 games for 2 years.
Yeah, that was it. But then with the way that Morrow was brought into that game 5, he was supposed to be down, and
I think in hindsight,
the dumb thing, they go,
even Freeman, the roster construction was not you kind of tell was their first World Series, because the roster construction in hindsight, they would never rely on just 3 relievers for.
Yeah, I think
because that's all they only use 3 or 4. I mean, that's why they use more every single game.
But even remember before the trade deadline when they got Darvish, but they also got Cingrani and Watson. So they
should have used Watson a lot more. I mean,
but Doc, that's the thing though. Doc didn't, because he goes and he's got his guys. Kenley was his guy. Morrow became his guy. That's all he trusted. And when he does that, that's when he's bad. Versus
No, I
when he
agree.
against the Rays after Game 4. He realized I got to trust more guys, and he did. Alex Wood, man, I still remember Game 6. That dude came in and pitched 2 innings, got 6 outs. Boom, it was done so fast.
Yeah.
And trusting old
Floro, and then
Laurel. Oh my gosh, that is the
using
most.
May for what, an inning and a half or whatever. How much
Did he pitch in that game? I don't
he
remember.
pitched like 3, or he pitched like 2, or he pitched in relief. It's one of those games in the season. It was May.
I know he did. Yeah,
I
Dustin
don't know if he
May.
piggybacked on Kershaw. I think he piggybacked on Kershaw.
You're right. He did.
And that's what I think they need to do. And it's not gonna be May, but it's gonna be what's it called? Shin this postseason.
They have to.
And then same thing with Pepio and then Yarbrough. Just 2 night and day looks.
I'm trying to find the box of that game.
That's be game 5 because 6 is
I'm
is
looking
when
at 5.
I think maybe it was game.
There's the let's see, Dodge. Okay, here we go.
But the Dodgers was game. I don't even remember.
Game, yeah. So Kirsch, yeah. Then Dustin went 1.2. Victor went 0.2, and Blake closed the game.
Oh, Blake was a savage that year. I mean, he could do no wrong.
He could do no wrong. Exactly. Then
I miss Blake.
I know he was.
I think the Dodgers have to find another Blake, where it's just even because they paid him what 2 years, 15 million, or
I still don't
which was one of the bigger,
yeah.
But he was a high end.
I wrote it. I wrote the article in 2019 for Dodgers Nation. Get Blake Trinan. I was right. Okay, so game 6, Gonsolin 1.2, Floro 0.1, Woody 2.0, Baez 0.2, Victor 1.1, Brewstar 0.2, and then Julio 2.1. Yeah. But Gonsolin had nothing. That's the thing, Gonsolin, man. I was afraid they were going to ride him in the playoffs again.
Yeah.
He's always injured.
But in Gonsolin's defense, he had I think 11 postseason innings, and like 10 of them came in 2021 as rookie. So he's been hurt. He breaks down, and
he does. Yeah, he's got to find a way to be healthy. But like I'm going to look at game 4 because at least I can look at game 4 because we at least won. Julio went 4.2. Trinan came in and he actually gave up 2 earned runs. I think he gave up a home run. That was a game where that
game 4 where we lost like in
the craziness. But that was I think that was a game. Oh man, was it Brandon Lowe? Yeah, Brandon Lowe came alive, and I thought there was another guy. Yeah, but Rosarino went 3 for 4. Yarbrough started that game for the Rays.
Oh, did he really? I knew I've seen him before.
Yep. And then but yeah, that was a game where after Blake came in, then they brought Baez in for 1.2 innings. I have no idea why. He gave up the big run. And then Kolarek came in, Gratterall a little bit, then Kenley couldn't put him away. Just couldn't. I
was pissed after that game.
I was so mad because it was like,
dude, why and then Taylor was in center, because I remember if Bellinger was in center, he probably would have got that ball.
Oh yeah, because Belly was hurt.
Or they subbed him out or something.
No, he was hurt that game. He didn't start that game. Yeah, he didn't start that game. Then because
he had hurt his shoulder.
But Phillips didn't even. He was like the count was 1-2. And he put a ball right there.
Well, I mean, I think it was a pretty good pitch because he did break the bat. It was a flare. It was a flare. I mean, the exit velo was like 60. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what you want. But Kenley did that, but he just would give up runs every time on like 2 strike counts.
Well, in that game,
he's just hittable. He's just hittable where like they're gonna put contact. You just pray it's at somebody.
Yeah. Well, with Kenley, you're right.
And then I remember the game before, it was like bottom of the 9th, and they put Kenley in, and he gave a home run to Rosarina.
Trinidad's in the chat.
Oh, so Trinidad?
Yeah, Trinidad. And we're still up, believe it or not. And this Dave Luna says, but when Trinan closes, he has the worst luck. Yeah, I've seen that.
When Trinan?
Yeah, but that's why you use him like they used him, which is like, hey, man. I still remember when I first got a good glimpse of it. It was against the Padres in 2020. And the Padres were good that year. Tatis was really good and all that. And I remember they brought they brought Blake in like in the 5th or 6th inning of a game. I'm like, what are you doing?
Whoever-
It was against Tatis, and he just made him look stupid.
Just boom. Yeah.
Just,
Well, no one was hitting like that year. Like no one was hitting. Like he was
oh my
filthy.
gosh.
99. He
Yeah.
basically was Bruce Star with a wipeout curveball.
Yeah, he was their best reliever that year, even though Kenley was the closer. Didn't matter.
He was he was a closer, but he was the best pitcher.
Yeah. It was, and I'm not a fan of the closer concept anymore. Let's see.
I think it's outdated. I think people like teams now know that it's about leverage and high leverage situation. We want your best guy out there. It just makes the most sense.
Well, and we're gonna see if they decide to hold off with Phillips until the 9th inning when a game is being lost, we will know that we have a problem. Yeah, like in 2020, but I also think that in 2020, I mean, Kenley 3.33 ERA. I mean, yeah, he was shaky.
Well, he actually in Atlanta, I remember they had counted him out in Atlanta. He came in and did like super like phenomenal. And so I think that Roberts went back to narrative. Well, that's my closer. Yeah. But once he gave it up in game, what is it, 3 or 4? That it was just
well, it was
bottom of the 9th. It was like, nah,
he gave it up in game 4 in Tampa, but he also did give one up in Tampa, I thought.
That's what I'm saying.
With Atlanta, I thought he gave one up, but then
I think he gave one in the beginning, and then like he came back and had like really good 1 or 2 innings, and then
something like that.
The same thing, and then he just kind of screwed up again.
Yeah, just weird.
Which is brutal. I mean, like someone obviously not everyone can win. Like stuff happens, but
I want to find the game and watch the game again where when Kike pooped his pants. It was against the Padres in that playoff.
Yeah, I don't know which game it was. I didn't follow that.
I got to find that one, man. Oh man, I love having Kike back.
My favorite Kike story is the one where the drones, where he's in the interview and the drones. No, I don't feel safe.
That was so good. The best. Oh man, remember Jake McGee? Jake McGee was a stud.
Oh, he was a stud. Well, but in the playoffs they would hit him.
Yeah,
because he was fastball.
Mm-hmm.
He was fastball. Yeah, we knew it.
Fast. Then Joe Kelly, we had Joe Kelly too. He was. You just never knew with wild. Joe, man.
You know, he's gonna walk 2, and you're gonna like either he's gonna score or they're gonna like bases loaded, like 1 out, he'll wiggle free. Like
I still remember when he closed that game against the Padres. You know.
Oh, bases loaded again, 2 outs.
Because he walked 2 of them.
Bro, it was everything was like. And he got his contract because of what he did against us with Boston.
Yeah.
Because that's what Joe Kelly kind of looks like now. He was just like he's lights out. Everything was he had low could control. He could just locate anywhere. But
and well, the funny thing was that with against that Padre thing, that it was bases loaded, but Eric Hosmer was coming up.
Dude.
Yeah. That was what we needed.
He got 8 years, 160 million, right?
Oh, yeah. So that
wow.
I don't know if that's
I think still trying to they were trying to spin that contract though. Oh, but he's it's like no.
They said he set the tone of the clubhouse for the future. No,
he's just as good as Muncy.
If he set the tone of the clubhouse, it was a bad tone because look what happened.
He got his money.
Teams are freaking he got his money. Good for him. I don't even know if he's still playing at the moment.
I don't think so. No.
I think
Can he go back to like?
Did he go to the Royals?
No, something like that.
I'm gonna look it
up. I don't know who else would take him at that point because you still owed him like.
Well, no, but the Padres are paying the whole contract. That's the best part about it. They're still paying. Yeah, he had a -5 WAR. Where's the transactions? Yeah.
That for the year or for the length of the contract?
For the year, but it's probably pretty close.
-5.
Yeah, that's bad. I mean, his career WAR is 18.6. That's it, 18.6. But he was a flash. So you look at Hosmer, right? When I first saw Hosmer, I'm like, look at this guy. He looks like the perfect baseball player. Look at he's a 6'4". He's ripped. He's all this stuff, and he's a good looking dude. He's gonna be a star.
He's a ground ball hitter.
Yeah,
he's a singles hitter.
And he regressed when he went to the Padres too. But so here we go. He was last released by the Cubs in May.
Those Cubs, there you go.
But that's
this past May. This
past May, he has not.
He made it to this year. Wow.
He didn't play after this year, or he didn't play after May.
I was surprised he even made it to May.
Well,
it's rough. It was pretty rough.
They had to get rid of him, man. I mean, my gosh, he's only like a year younger than Max Muncy, or you're older.
It was crazy to think is also Brandon Morrow was in the same draft class and actually was drafted ahead of Kershaw.
Yep.
Isn't that wild to like?
Yeah.
And his career ended maybe in 2019.
Let's see. Okay.
It's just that's crazy.
Here we go. So Dave Luna, so the Kike, trying to find the Kike. I went back to look for that NLDS game. I forgot which one. I think it was game 3, but you can't really tell he pooped his pants. He wasn't a 3-pitch out. So because I think Kike just was like, I'm done. He told Doc that if you haven't seen that interview with Mookie, man, it's gold.
Is it recent?
Yeah,
it was his podcast or his
yeah, it's on that Bleacher Report thing. I man, Mookie does a good job.
Mookie is good at life. He's good at everything he touches.
He is, man. No, he is amazing. Yeah. It just he's got something in him, man. That drives him. So he's special.
I still can't believe he get 40 home runs.
I know. I wanted that.
It's just great. Yeah.
Get the World Series and we'll forget.
I think the moral story is that he has to eat more because he started eating meat because he was vegan for a while, right?
Yeah. Well, so the guy that one of the guys that he follows is Dave Goggins. Do you know who he is?
Yeah. He's a Navy SEAL, right?
Yeah. Well, he's insane.
He was a Navy SEAL. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy that runs like a marathon every day or
death
something.
Marathons, like 110 miles, and
does 4,000 pull-ups and
pizza. So
so following that dude is hard. I mean,
right.
There is no one harder than Dave Goggins, and so Mookie's following him now. So that's kind of good.
I don't mind that on the field. I mean,
yeah, you just go because you just want more, and I think Mookie's like that. I think he wants a lot of championship rings.
What he's gone out of a 5. I mean, 5'8". I think is kind of generous. About 5'7" frame. Like if you see the home run leaders and then you compare them to Mookie, it's like. He gets the absolute most out of everything.
He does. He
which is
I think he is 5'9". I've last time I walked right by him, like going like this. I think he's 5'9".
But even 5'9", lean like 170, 60. I don't know, 175.
He's got he's ripped and he's got muscles on top of the rippedness. So he's kind of naturally ripped,
but still lean. He's not like a Matt Stairs,
Oh no, he's really.
And to get 39 home, that's wild.
Yeah, it is.
That's wild.
Yeah, no, he's amazing, and to play second base like he did, what a game!
He's like like Durham with 39 home runs and 110 or whatever, 109 RBI, just ridiculous.
Yeah. Playing second base,
yeah,
a lot. Well over 60 games. I mean, he was.
How did he grade out at second base? By the way,
last I saw, I was a little bit above average. I don't know if
even then he was above average.
Yeah,
and he played shortstop, like second base. Remember?
Yeah, shortstop. He graded out a bit below average, but
but just the fact that he played shortstop,
so awesome. It is. It's an awesome thing when you think about it.
No one does that.
And
no one. Right.
How it brought that flexibility.
I don't think any established player would risk leaving their position that they're established in. Like that's like if Harper decides, I'm gonna play second base for a cup. No one's gonna do that. Nobody's gonna do that. No one would. They would, and if they said no, no one would give them like no one would think twice because like how are we gonna ask him to do that? And
Yeah.
with Mookie, it's like, yeah, sure, I'll play second base, I'll play shortstop. Like, what do you need from me? He's
He
like
didn't care. Yeah. It's
super
awesome.
selfless.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what you
And
need.
that's why he's the face of the Dodgers.
He
Same thing with
is.
Freddie.
Yeah.
Selfless.
They are to have both those guys. And I just wish they were both, original Dodgers.
Right.
And, to be honest, it cost us Corey Seager. And
That's a good trade though.
it is. I mean, I still wish Corey was on the team.
Seager for versus who? Versus Freeman?
That was pretty much the trade.
I still think Seager goes. I think Seager wanted out. I mean,
he got a lot more money. So Freeman was like more than half the money.
I think Freeman was it was luck that we even got him because
totally.
Just the fact that how it played out in Atlanta. There's no way you enter the season thinking Freeman's gonna be available.
Yeah. And he wouldn't have gone to a lot of different teams either. So I mean,
right.
So if he's not playing with the Braves, his team, which we know all about that, now I think he's pretty darn happy.
I think last year it was still a transition, but I think he's back home. He's close to his family. His kids seem pretty happy.
Yeah, his dad gets to go to all the home games.
Exactly. They get to hang out with his dad.
Yeah, so
I think it worked out.
It's a really, and I think plus him getting Hayward back was huge.
Yeah,
they're buddies, and then him and Mookie really do hit it off.
It's not like you downgrade as an organization.
No, they
don't really miss a beat. You're still every year is a playoff hunt.
Yeah,
you have the best of the best.
And my two criticisms of Seager were, one is always a lot of injuries.
That's the thing.
And two, I just don't think he's a shortstop. I think he's
not.
I think he
played the shortstop to maximize the value as a free agent.
Yeah.
Until he's basically they have to force him to third. I think.
And they will eventually. Yeah, because they have it's kind of like Bogarts with the Padres. He's not their best shortstop. It's Kim. Kim's
I think by far.
It's not even close. I mean, Bogart.
Kim was like a 7 WAR player because his offense, but his defense is just crazy.
Yeah, Kim's awesome, man. That's
good for him because I mean it didn't look like the first two. I thought he was just going to be like a 500 OPS hitter.
Yeah,
good defense, but and if the Padres perform better, I mean he could be in the talk for MVP. Maybe not this year, but any other year.
Yeah, he held that team together. I mean, remember Soto got off to a slow start. Yeah. That dude's awesome. I hope Padres trade him. Of course. But yeah, Kim is way better than Bogarts, but yet because he signed the big contract, and shortstop is a status position, so he gets to play it. But eventually, they've already talked.
I think after this year, after Kim kind of establishes, I think now, I mean, Bogarts has no legs to stand on to say.
Yeah. Well, plus they have Jackson Merrill coming up. Atlanta is thrifty. Yes, they are. Atlanta definitely took advantage of, signed young Latin guys to big contracts. No, but not that big.
You know what? But it's worked out. But there's always risks. I mean, you look at what the Rays did. They signed Franco, and that blew up. So there's risk. I mean, you're getting it now, but
there is risk. But they got those guys like Acuna. And dude,
Albies is like that's the craziest contract. It's what 7 years, 35 million. Like
it's terrible. That's robbery.
Yeah,
that's just
like a Pippen contract. He's gonna look back and be like,
"Yeah,
why? I want to raise."
This is a good point. Mookie should hit more homers since he's had a week off. And he hit one yesterday. He hit one yesterday during their scrimmage, or was it today? I think it was today. So that's good. But I heard it might have been off Lance Lynn. So
yikes.
Lance
doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Get that. Lance Lynn's a big dude, man.
I think if he had a year of maybe conditioning with the Dodgers,
Maybe.
Maybe a little snappier in this thing.
So Lance Lynn, they have an $18 million option on him. I take that option. Just to have a guy that comes in and throws, you can throw 200 innings.
I probably will throw 200 if you allow him. He's kind of a big presence. I mean, that's another guy they brought in. He's a big presence on the mound.
Yeah.
Or I just think that he maybe, Chicago losing, he didn't really care.
Yeah. Well, even with the Dodgers, his fielding independent pitching hasn't been that good.
It's like 4.5, right? 4.5.
Yeah. But you know what? He saved their staff for about a month.
Oh, 100. He'll give you 6 innings.
When they got
him, 5, 6, 7 innings.
Remember when they got him, they were just going through guys. Pepio wasn't ready. I mean, everything was a mess.
Sheehan was giving you 3. Stone was giving you 2.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Wow.
So he saved that staff, not
100%.
even about being great.
Just by eating innings.
Yep, exactly. And sometimes that's what you got to do. And give me a guy like that that's going to go 6 or 7 every game. I'll take him, because no matter what happens next year, just like this year, I thought we had a solid staff coming in. We had we had a starting 5, that was supposed to be Gonsolin was in there, May, Kirsch, Syndergaard, and
Pepio.
No, it was before Pepio. There was another guy. He's down now. I can't remember who it was.
They're all down. Is it I was thinking lefty from Kansas City? No, it's a joke. Same guy. Duffy.
No, was it?
Was it Duffy?
But then Gonsolin went down, and so Pepio earned that 5th spot. But I'm going, okay, great. But so they had 5 starters, then they had 5 rookies. They had Pep, they had Stone, Miller, Rove, and Andre Jackson, right? So they had 10 starting pitching candidates.
Still 100.
All of them went down. Just about all of them went down for some point. Miller missed the beginning of spring training. Andre
Knack
Jackson
wasn't healthy.
Yeah. Knack was healthy this year, but he was at Double-A.
But not the beginning of the year.
Oh, he was. Knack was. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he was, but he was in Double-A.
Yeah.
Gosh, who was that? I'm just gonna go Dodgers.com because it's probably someone on the 60-day. It wasn't.
So it's Kershaw, May, Gonsolin, Urias.
Is it see? I already forgot about.
Yeah, it's Urias,
about Julio. So that was their 5. So they had 10 starting pitchers, and who's left? Barely. We got a compromised Kershaw. Julio is
not left.
Jail.
May's
broke. Syndergaard got his Rosario.
Johnson's out. It's just Kershaw.
It's just Kirsch.
It's a broken Kershaw and 4 rookies.
Yeah. And
Lynn. I'm sorry, Lynn.
Well, no, but they weren't there at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So they're doing, from their starting pitching that started the season, they have 1 guy. And then
half of him as well. So he's not even full.
And again, Miller was down, Pepio was down. And then Jackson ended up getting
traded, yeah. But he didn't look. He didn't. He had potential, but he didn't take advantage.
Yeah, I think it was time to move on. Give him a real opportunity. He's a guy that just needed to be a real opportunity, I think.
But even when he would give up like 4 runs, or he got killed, and he looked good, but then he came back to get. So it's like, I'm
gonna take a quick look at him I need to get to bed, by the way, but I want to look at Andre Jackson.
Same here. I didn't realize the time.
I know time flies though.
It always happens when talk.
My playoff grift is strong.
There you go.
Let's see. What did Andre do with pitch?
We talked about Arizona like 3 hours ago.
I know. So Andre, let's see, with Pittsburgh, 12 games, 43 innings, 4.33. That's fine.
And Pittsburgh is going to get a chance, though.
This is good, though. In 43 innings, he only gave up 30 hits. That's really good.
Yeah. How's the walks, though?
19. That's almost 2. Can't do that.
Well, that's what, half? That's 44, and then the home runs.
Yeah, that's just too much. But
what's the lefty we lost to the Rule 5 to Pittsburgh?
Oh, Jose Hernandez.
Does he? He didn't get returned, right?
He was really good at the beginning of the
He
year.
was right. Probably got injured because it's not.
In fact, even against the Dodgers, he was good. No, we got Gus.
We got him
Varner.
back.
Yeah, he's on the 60-day disabled list.
But hey, he's another one where kind of he came and he did really good, but then he just started kind of fading out a little bit at the end.
It's just command with him, or it's not command. It's putting the ball in the strike zone. Jose was good, but he ended up with a 4.97 ERA. So, but they kept
him the whole year though.
They did, yeah.
Oh, so then he's just gone.
Yep, he's gone. So, and then of course, what's his name? Ryan Noda did well.
Oh, Noda, that hurt. I thought Noda could have, because he could play like left. I thought they're going to give the position to Noda over Peralta.
Oh no, yeah, they weren't going to do that. I knew that.
Noda deserved it though. Look at that.
As
a rookie, he had 2.3 WAR, 364, 770 OPS.
You still there?
Yeah, still here.
Okay, yeah.
Just
he but you look at his numbers. Okay, so
for Noda,
not bad. 229 batting average, on base is 364. So he does get his walks. Struck out 170 times.
16 home runs as a rookie. That's not bad.
Slugged 406, but
121 OPS.
He just didn't fit. He wasn't a guy they wanted. He was another. I think they looked at him like another Luke Raley, Zach Rex type guy.
See if he can just take off. He was so good though. Like then in the minors, it's just
but he wasn't.
He doesn't have the defense for it though.
He's not bad. He's
serviceable.
I would have liked to have kept him, but
for sure,
this isn't bad. But he wouldn't have played, and he would have been another rookie. You would have had Outman and Noda, and Outman's just clearly a better defensive player and
offensive player,
and he's also James is a cool dude, man. He is.
I was really hoping he could have a 2020 season, which he wasn't really far off, but
he was close. Yeah, he did.
The stolen bases that.
Yeah, James is just a good dude. There's the one trivia question. The trivia question that every prospect person needs to know: who was the first person to interview James Outman? This guy.
Was it at the Quakes?
No, it was before that. Yeah, it was after he was a little bit before, after few months after he was drafted.
Oh.
Yeah, I just had a weird connect. It was a weird connection.
It happened. It happened. And also, we were high on Outman last year. Like we talked about, we thought that maybe that was the future anyway. I'm just kind of happy it worked out.
I am too.
Well, I'm happy they gave him a chance. I should say.
I am too.
Because that's always the thing is, are they going to give him the opportunity?
Yeah, and people were saying that they didn't think he was even targeted for the opening day roster, but I just thought he was. I thought when they said, "Hey,
they just have a lot of options."
Bellinger's gone. Yeah. I think when they said Bellinger's gone, that they were going to put Outman in there. So that's my belief.
And they were right. It worked out.
It did.
Well, I mean, did he end up having a 3 WAR or 2.8 or?
It was pretty high, and his defense kept getting better.
His offense got better too.
Yeah,
well, he went.
He had like two. He had a
3.3 WAR.
Yeah, he had a bad 2 months. He really
was a rookie. I mean, that people wanted the youth movement, and that's what happens. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but
he did really well.
A rookie.
Yeah, he
had a 3.3 WARs. That's crazy.
I'll take it, and some of that's because of defense.
Oh, and then his defense is a plus at center field.
But when you have James Outman batting 8th, I'll take it. I'll take it any day, man.
So
that works.
The question is, does Michael Push get a chance to play?
Not next year.
You don't think? Well, she should be traded. There's no point.
They're trying to make
value is just not going to get any better. He was just the MVP of the AAA.
Yeah, but they're making him a third baseman.
Who is?
The Dodgers. They're making him a third baseman. So if that works out,
You think so?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he
You
played
think he's actually going to play third base, or they'll?
majority of his games this
So why
year
did why did they try him out this year? This is crazy.
because they have Max Muncy.
But I'm
He
saying
played
even at
majority.
triple,
No,
in
majority were third base.
really?
Yeah, baseball Gale had the scoop in spring training of him working out at third, and then he started playing there during the season with Oklahoma. Yeah. So yeah, they're already working him.
So then what happens to Vargas?
Second base. Still second base.
Is he in the plans or?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's still pretty young though. He's like what, 22?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's going to be one of those lessons learned seasons for him. I
They
believe
just
in him.
rushed him. Well,
I
and
totally
they asked for a lot though too. It's just same thing as they asked for Lux to learn a
Oh,
position on the fly in the majors.
exactly.
Oh, and also learn how to, and also hit at a at a good clip.
Exactly.
It's like it's a lot to ask.
It is, man. You nailed it because people forget he was not a second baseman. He played a little bit in the minors. It was a
Not at all. He wasn't. I don't.
total fire hose. Total fire hose.
I don't think he played second base more than like a game or two. Like
played-
it wasn't a thing. Started playing in Winter League. That's when he started learning to play second base. And
Yeah,
now he's your starting second baseman.
Yeah. So, and I thought he did fine at second, but it's a lot. Let me
But
see.
but it's just like it's not just even learning, how to hit and
I
at the
know.
major league. It's that plus learning a whole, and it's all at the major league level, which is it's a lot.
Oh, including major leagues. He played 106 games at second and 20 at third. Bush, 27 at second and 74 at third. So that's good.
I hope it sticks though, because I mean I think that Bush, this is gonna be his third year repeating AAA, and he's done phenomenal every year he played at AAA.
So
It's just
I
kind
don't
of the
think
sad thing.
Yeah, I think next year's on the bench for sure. At a minimum. You can't send it back down.
Well, you gotta trade him.
That's cruelty. Yeah, you can't.
There's nothing literally he could do.
There's nothing. Yeah, he's there. You can't do that to him.
He hit 323, 431, 618, 150 weighted RC plus, and 27 home runs, 26 doubles, like in 98 games.
The future all-star, man. I really believe that.
His OPS was 1.049.
Yeah, future all-star.
There's nothing else he could do.
Yeah, they said they put him in the outfield also, but Bush only played this year. He only played a few games and left.
I think with him, they just got to commit to where they're going to play him and just play him there. Because right now it's kind of like even third base. I mean,
before Peralta, before Peralta, and with the whole Noda thing, I wanted Bush in left.
Me too.
That's what
I thought it would just make sense. You hide him in left field, like he learns on the fly. Same thing as Lux, maybe obviously not as athletic, but that's why he's in left field. He's not in center field.
It's insane. But
all right, man. I mean, yeah.
Let's hit it, man. I'm tired. I gotta get up early. Right. Not early, but I'm gonna work from home tomorrow. I'm actually going drag racing tomorrow night.
Oh, nice.
And not the RuPaul type.
Where at? Or you got a car or you just
I have a Mustang. It's it's street. It's totally street. I have regular tires on it, so I don't even when you go up.
Oh, really? So
there's water. I go around the water so I don't get any on me because I'm
Is it slick? You got the slick tires?
No, I don't. I got basically road tires, man.
Oh, so, nice.
It's just fun. It's just for fun.
Hey, enjoy yourself. I know it's kind of late anyway.
Yep. And then we got the game on Saturday. Yeah. Go Dodgers, huh? All right, man. Thanks, Alex, for joining in. That might have been a record length, but that's the way it is, man.
That's how we roll.
Grift is strong. All right, man. Thanks, man. All right, everyone. Thanks, everybody.
Take it easy.
See you later. All right, bye.